Welcome to the Enhancement Talent Podcast.
Any man with two hands has a fighting chance.
You're only half the man that I am, and I have half the brain that you do.
What?
You are a sniveling little suck-up sellout full of suffering succotash, son.
What?
I'm not ready for you. Give me a hell yeah.
We are back and better than ever. Welcome, everyone, to the Enhancement Talent Podcast, wherever you may be and however you may be listening. We appreciate you stopping by. I am your host, Brock Fluker, and I am joined by Chris Kirby.
Yay.
That's him, the very insightful, enthusiastic Chris Kirby.
Yep, that's me.
So this show is going to be about 7 hours, probably.
Oh, God, I hope not. Maybe 6.5.
We have Fastlane from this Sunday to cover, and the happenings or lack thereof on Raw and SmackDown, possibly.
Lack thereof, yeah.
We're on the road to WrestleMania, man.
Not yet, we're not.
Yeah. That when we will actually be on the road to WrestleMania, be that Thursday before it.
Yeah, that's when we're going to do our show that week. Going
April 4th. Yeah. And that'll be the real Road to WrestleMania podcast.
I don't think anybody else will do it like we will.
No. See, anything else that says Road to WrestleMania, that is pure clickbait.
Yep. We're going to be on the road. You're going to hear the tire noise and everything.
Yeah, you're going to hear Chris road raging. And
oh, yeah. There's going to be so many bleeps in that show.
Oh, that douche cut me off.
Beep, 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 beep.
Yeah. I'll need to actually work on getting a censor.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess we'll jump into Fastlane, not waste any time.
Yeah, we got a lot to cover.
There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff to get in. You know, like how the term in the business is getting your shit in. We got to get all our shit in.
Yeah.
So I noted from the pre-show of Fastlane that EC3 finally spoke.
Yeah.
And however long ago that he debuted, and I coined the idea that he is WWE's baby, and they are waiting to hear what his first words will be.
Yes.
And do you want to guess what his first word was? Mandy.
Yeah.
After Sonya and Mandy interview, EC3 comes up there and sort of does like a mimic of Mandy Rose's, like the beginning of her theme song.
Yeah.
And flirts with her. And Sonya was pretty hilarious in this. She called him a human tanning bed.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty good.
And told him to take a hike. But I love Sonya.
Oh, I do too.
And we'll get to it when I cover that match. I wish it was Sonya in that match. And also during the pre-show, Kofi gives his approval to Kevin Owens being in the WWE Championship match instead of him.
I don't think he needs his approval.
Well, either way, he
was in it regardless.
Yeah, that's true. But stagehand or producer or whatever nerd guy comes up and tells Kofi that the McMahons that he's called to the McMahon's office to discuss the WWE Championship match.
Yes.
And that's sort of like the since they put that on the pre-show, I think that was sort of like a cliffhanger-esque thing to try to get you to watch the show.
Oh, yeah.
Or buy the network or whatever.
Yeah. But you think about it, though. If you didn't have the network, that would be the perfect time to get it, because you're going to get Fastlane and Mania.
Yeah.
For free.
For free.
How's that for a plug, WWE?
Yeah. Yeah, unlike Ronda Rousey saying you have to pay $60.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later. The pre-show match was slated to be Andrade versus Rey Mysterio. That did not happen.
No, far from it.
And instead I think it was announced during the pre-show that it was going to, and I don't even think they announced it on the pre-show. It was just on social media or whatever, that it was going to be the same match we saw at SmackDown on the main card, the Fatal 4-Way with Joe, R-Truth, Andrade, and Rey Mysterio for the United States title.
Yeah.
And instead, the pre-show match was New Day versus Nakamura and Rusev. And this match was announced on Friday, so we didn't get to make a prediction for it. I think we both would have had New Day.
Yeah.
And it was funny, Xavier Woods on Twitter, he posted reacting to WWE's Twitter, saying that this was going to be a match at Fastlane, and Xavier Woods just said, "It's a good thing I looked at Twitter today, or otherwise I wouldn't have known I was wrestling on Sunday."
Oh, wow.
Very well-run, informative company he works for.
Yeah. Wow, somebody didn't get the memo.
Yeah. So, for what it was, this was a good tag match. There wasn't anything spectacular, but I want to mention here, though, that, and it's something that I've felt for a while, but just even watching this throwaway, meaningless match, I think Xavier Woods is a star. Like, I genuinely think one day, whenever, if they want to strap the rocket to him and make him the top guy, that he could do it.
I think when the New Day loses its luster, and it will one day.
It has at some points. I mean, it goes back and forth.
But I think when it gets to the point where they're better off separated, I think that's when they're going to take Woods and give him a little push.
Yeah, and Big E, I don't want to take away from him because he can be a main eventer in his own right. But
yeah, but he's been around long enough, and he hasn't done anything. He's been around for years.
Yeah, but he just hasn't had the chance really as a single.
Even in
he's always been Dolph Ziggler's guy or with the New Day.
Yeah, but I mean, in the ring, his moveset is not one that is made for singles.
Not necessarily.
He just doesn't have the moveset to be a single star.
Yeah, I mean, I think he can add to that. I think he has a very natural charisma to him.
Oh, yeah, he could add to it easy.
Yeah. And, I mean, I think when you get serious Big E, that he's very good as well.
Yeah, but I don't think you're going to get much serious Big E as long as New Day's around.
Right.
Because New Day's all about having fun. You can't be serious if you're having fun.
But there's moments there where you see it, like, I go back to the Usos feud. You had serious Big E, and even on this SmackDown we'll review later, there was a serious Big E.
Yeah.
But I just think Woods, especially in the ring, I think he is so great at selling and believably selling, like in a way that like a Bret Hart would, that you get behind him and feel sympathy for him, just with his facial reactions.
Yeah.
I just think that he can really be a star if they want him to be.
And when he first came on TV, I didn't care for Woods.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was. I didn't care for him.
Well, he was basically introduced as, like, he was just R-Truth's friend.
Yeah. It wasn't until they teamed him with Big E that made the New Day.
Once they gave him a mic is really when he started to get himself over.
Yeah. And once he joined New Day, boom, that was it.
Yeah.
I mean,
it just took off.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, other than that, the New Day win this match. Yeah. And there was I didn't know this, but it was on ESPN noted that this loss is Rusev's 17th consecutive pay-per-view loss, which ties him for the most of all time with the Great Khali.
Actually, I thought they announced on SmackDown it was 16 in a row.
That's what I don't know. That's what I noted down from ESPN. Maybe they said differently. I was surprised that SmackDown actually said that too.
Yeah, they mentioned during his match, it was 16 or 17, but I thought they said 16. But either way, that's still over a year's worth.
Yeah.
A year and a half's worth.
And that doesn't even include the shows that he wasn't even on. So that's only like 2 whole years probably.
Wow, he's the Kurt Hawkins of pay-per-view.
Yeah. It surprised me that Great Khali had that many. I guess that was during his like tag team joke.
Yeah, because I don't remember him being in that many shows.
Yeah. Yeah, there was that weird period where he would be like tagging with like Hornswoggle or whoever else.
Yeah.
Doing stuff with like 3-man band or whatever.
Yeah, that's probably the era.
Yeah. So we have the main show start with the McMiz versus the Usos.
And we saw this coming. Or at least I did. And I know we talk about wrestling all the time.
Yeah. Well, we'll cover the match first, and then we'll get into the aftermath. Miz, the hometown hero, he comes out with some cool Cleveland Browns-inspired gear, the colors, and he was over as hell in this match for his hometown.
Oh, God, yeah. More than a lot of people are.
Yeah. More than The Miz probably ever has been as a babyface.
If you go back a year ago, or the last time they were in Cleveland, I bet it was total opposite.
Yeah, definitely. The story of the match was Miz being a completely different wrestler, pretty much, for his hometown crowd and also his dad at ringside.
Yeah, but he did a lot of stupid stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And so there were springboards. He did a cross body off the top rope to the outside of the ring,
which didn't look very good.
It worked. I mean, it looked. Yeah.
I mean,
Miz is not meant to be doing that stuff.
That was more like a Brie Bella.
It's the Toy Story thing.
Yeah,
that's not flying. That's falling with style.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So, in the midst of all that, there was a point in this match where Shane gets hit with a Samoan drop and neckbreaker combo from the Usos.
That's pretty cool.
And after that, The Miz takes one of the Usos out of the ring and hits the skull-crushing finale on the other. And he has him pinned, but for whatever reason, the ref is too busy tending to Shane, who got hit with the Samoan drop and neckbreaker, that he missed the pin, and then seconds later went over there, and that allowed the Uso to kick out.
Yeah.
Was Shane really that hurt that you needed to check on him?
At his age?
Yeah.
I mean, you know how he is on pay-per-views. He puts his body through hell. Except this one.
Speaking of, there was a spot in this one that I haven't seen before. So, Miz is down in the middle of the ring, and you have one of the Usos out on the outside and one out in the corner, in the sitting position on the turnbuckle. And so Shane is going to go for his coast to coast, and he climbs the opposite turnbuckle, but then across the ring, the other Uso climbs that turnbuckle from the outside of the ring, and it's like a stalemate.
Yeah.
Just both of them standing at the top. And so, and it's who's going to make the first move. And so the Uso on the corner leaps for a splash on Miz, who's down in the middle. And Shane dives at him and drop kicks him in midair.
Right in the leg, it looks like.
To interfere with his trajectory towards the Miz.
And it did.
Yeah, it looked pretty cool.
It looked painful, too.
I'm sure it was. Like, that feels like a spot that you draw up on paper, and then you're like, how the hell are we going to do this?
Yeah, and it's like, well, let's just think about it while we're doing the show. If we find a moment, let's do it.
Yeah, it's a crazy thing.
But it was cool. I mean, it's something you've never seen before.
Yeah. So now after this, Miz is feeling the crowd and his dad, and he looks to his dad for wrestling advice.
Yeah.
And his dad's response was to point up.
Yeah.
Go to the top rope again.
This is the Miz. He's like Ric Flair. He doesn't belong on the top rope.
No. And so Miz goes for a frog splash, but the Uso on the ground got his knees up and rolled him up for the win. It was very clunky.
It was.
Because it was like Miz was just standing instead of landing on the Usos.
Yeah.
So, but that's how the Usos get the win. Miz and Shane at first embrace after the match with Miz's dad, but when Miz turns his back to go up the ramp, out of nowhere, Shane attacks Miz from behind. He beats him down. He gets in his dad's face. He grabs his dad's face and pushes him down into his seat.
If his dad is a grown-ass man, why the hell didn't he come up swinging? Straight up. How are you going to let somebody grab you by the throat and not start swinging?
I don't know.
I mean, come on. Be realistic.
Yeah. No.
It's not very entertaining seeing some dude grab another guy by the throat and the other guy just sitting there. Okay, now what?
Well, I guess you could say that he's not a fighter.
No matter if you're a fighter, natural instinct. If somebody's threatening your neck.
Yeah, but Shane, he can beat up anyone. So you don't want to poke the bear.
I ain't gonna poke the bear. I'm gonna knock him out with my fist or a chair or something.
Shane locked in the worst looking triangle choke I've ever seen on the Miz.
Yeah,
and that was the Shane McMahon heel turn. I think we obviously expected somebody to turn.
Well, I knew who was going to turn. I just didn't know when.
Well, it was reported forever ago that the whole idea of Shane winning the best in the world thing was to slowly turn him heel.
Yeah.
But then after that, they said it was dropped, and now they've picked it back up. It's just, I don't know long term how Miz will work as a babyface.
I don't think it'll be very well. Not long term.
I think in a vacuum that this angle will work, but I'm not sure what they do with Miz afterwards.
I think it's a good feud for Mania with him and McMahon.
Mm-hmm.
But after that, I don't see where he's going to go.
Yeah. Babyface Miz, I just can't get behind.
No, he's not a babyface. He's a heel.
And not only just from a promo standpoint and how good he is at that, but I don't want to rag on Miz too much, but his style of wrestling, let's say, is not suit for a babyface.
No, it's not.
As Daniel Bryan always said, he's too soft, which is one way of putting it.
Which is funny because most of the moves the Miz does is Daniel Bryan's.
Yeah, except they're Daniel Bryan lights, where he does the kicks, but they don't look like they hurt at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you're Brie.
Right. But I like Shane going forward as a heel, I guess.
Well, they needed to do something. I mean, obviously this wasn't going to be a long-term partnership.
Yeah.
Anybody who thought they had a chance of winning the titles, well, they just got sucked in.
Yeah.
Which is cool. That's what they want.
Right.
But we knew it wasn't going to last.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just now what?
Yeah.
How do you get Miz to turn back heel?
Yeah, I don't, I guess that they're going to, I can't imagine them just doing Miz as a babyface for this angle and then turning him right back heel.
I could.
I mean, maybe after a while if they feel like it's not working, but I think they're going to try a Miz babyface run.
I mean, might as well try it. He's done it before.
Yeah, and it failed.
Yeah. So, I mean, give it one more go and then turn him back if you have to.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, Miz is more over than he really ever has been. At least I can say that much. So, who knows? Maybe it can work, but we'll see. So, we had the show-long story of Elias randomly appearing. And it started here. He said, 2 lines, and it went to a commercial, and he was gone.
Yeah.
And after that, we had Asuka versus Mandy.
Which makes me bring up the point, why are there commercials in a pay-per-view?
Yeah.
There never used to be until they had to show it on their network.
Yeah. And, it's not a traditional commercial. It's a WWE advertisement.
Yeah, but it's still a commercial.
Yeah. No, I agree with you.
They never used to have those. I mean, that's what the whole point of pay-per-views are. You don't have commercials.
Yeah. Well, now we're paying less, so they're going to at least advertise their stuff.
They do all night long.
So, Asuka versus Mandy.
I really wanted Mandy to win. And not just because she's hot, but I'm tired of Asuka. She's not doing anything with it.
Yeah, Asuka is very cold right now.
And I know it has to do with the triple threat at Mania with Becky, Ronda, and Charlotte.
Yeah, they took all of her challengers and put them on Raw.
Well, Bliss is cleared. Why can't Bliss challenge Asuka?
I don't even know if Bliss is cleared. She hasn't
wrestled in the Rumble.
Yeah, she hasn't wrestled since then.
Well, no, but you'd have to be cleared to be in the Rumble.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's just confusing.
Unless there's something that happened afterwards or something that was found afterwards.
It's confusing. Like, I don't know.
Getting out. Well, I guess we'll get to that.
Yeah, but I completely understand what you're saying though, because I don't know what there's left for Asuka to even do as champion when the SmackDown Women's Division is Lana, Carmella, Mandy, Sonya, Naomi.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the rumor is Lacey Evans versus Asuka, which...
Another Charlotte, huh?
Color me excited.
Another 6-foot-tall blonde getting what they want.
Yeah. Well, you would think that was what would happen with Mandy here.
She's not 6 foot.
She's not tall enough?
Nope.
Okay, I see. The entire match, I was just thinking how much better this would be if it was Sonya versus Asuka. And that's another one. I think they should build up Sonya.
They really need to, because they're putting a lot behind Mandy.
Yeah, because she's so much better than Mandy.
In the ring, yeah, she is.
I think,
well, I mean,
promo-wise and charisma-wise, like...
Because Mandy's just all about her looks.
I don't think, and I've been hard on Mandy, but I really don't think Mandy has any sort of charisma about her.
No, not really.
And I said when we did the predictions show last week, I think, that this was going to be really telling for Mandy, because if you can't have a good match with Asuka, I don't think you can really have a good match with anyone.
True.
And look, Mandy has gotten better, and you could tell in this match that she is still improving.
Yeah.
But she's not there yet.
I think she was called up too soon.
Yes, I agree.
Along with Sonya.
Yeah. I mean, they both could have benefited from a longer tenure in NXT. There needs to be a minimum amount of time in NXT.
You have to do a minimum of so long before you could be considered to move up.
Well, it varies, because a lot of the guys that go to NXT have been wrestling for however many years. But when you have those that don't have as much experience and are there to learn, then I think that it's important that, they actually have time to learn.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it's there for.
I think they're starting to get too many people in NXT to really give everybody what they need. And it's supposed to be a developmental brand, not a separate brand.
Right.
You're supposed to be developing your stars there.
Right.
Not trying to put on a bigger show than Raw or SmackDown.
Well...
And that's what they're doing. They're trying to be a third brand.
I mean, they have 1 hour of TV every week and a pay-per-view every 3 or 4 months.
That's fine.
And it's still there as a training facility. Like, you have the Performance Center and classes and all this stuff.
But you hear nothing about developmental. You hear nothing about anything except NXT.
Well, I don't think you're supposed. We should hear much about it, though.
I do, because that's what it's for.
No, but it can be going on, and we don't have to hear about it.
But if we don't hear about it, we don't know. And the reason I say that is take Mandy for a point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we know everybody's being trained. We know that.
Yeah.
But if they were worried more about training their stars properly, before putting them on TV, then the shows might be a lot better.
Yeah. And I think that's even something that you can even trace back farther than the NXT days.
Oh, yeah. That goes all the way back to OVW and beyond.
Yeah, Bobby Lashley, I remember one in particular that he was someone that they were training in OVW.
Oh, in his first run?
Yeah, and they wanted to train him, and they wanted, because, with his look and his build, he could be a star. And the story that Bruce Pritchard, I think, told was that the people that worked in developmental would literally try to hide him from Vince McMahon, because they knew as soon as Vince looked at him that he would get called up to the main roster. Yeah. And that's exactly what happened. Vince took one look at him and said, well, goddamn, pal, why the hell are you down here? Yeah. Let's get you on TV.
Yeah. I mean, just because you're on TV don't mean it's good.
Yeah.
I mean, it might be good for your paycheck.
Yeah.
But how good's that paycheck going to be when you fizzle out because you're not that good?
Right. It's better for the long term. And it's hard. I think it's harder to learn on the fly when you're in the main roster atmosphere and on the road and television and all this. It's harder to pick things up.
Yeah, because you're so worried about, okay, your next match. What's going to happen? You have to line by line
remember these lines, and I have to travel 5 days a week.
Yeah. It just doesn't... Vince McMahon is so worried about locking talent up instead of developing the talent he's got.
And that's a fair point.
And it's not a knock on him, because I understand why.
Yeah.
Because if he's got them under contract, they can't go anywhere.
Yeah.
But what's the point of holding somebody prisoner if you're not going to use them in any way? Or even make them better?
Yeah. No, I definitely agree with you.
And that's what happened with Mandy. I think she slipped through the cracks.
Yeah. That's someone that I'm sure Vince saw and...
Oh, she's a blonde. Let's put her through.
Yeah.
Because she didn't win Tough Enough. I watched that season.
No.
The winner actually got booted out of
as most Tough
the
Enough
Performance Center. And actually, the winner of the men and the woman, they both got their contracts gone. They let them go.
There's not really many Tough Enough winners that hung around.
No, but Mandy came in second.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying she doesn't deserve to be there, because, I mean, she does.
Yeah,
I just think she needs more help.
Yeah, she's just...
she's too green.
Yes, exactly.
Too green for the big screen.
So, getting into the particulars of this match, there weren't many, but...
No, there is one move that Mandy did that I liked.
What was that?
The abdominal stretch, when she locked Asuka's arms with her legs.
Okay, yeah.
Just a little modified, but it was cool because Asuka couldn't do anything with her arms.
Yeah.
And I've never seen anybody else do it.
Yeah. I'll give you that one. I didn't write it down, but good stuff. So this comes to a conclusion when Sonya goes over... Sonya, first, she looked under the ring, and I guess she didn't see what she was looking for.
Yeah.
Or she must have thought it was on one side, but it was actually on the other. So then later, she would go over to the other side of the ring, and she'd lift up the ring skirts and get a kendo stick.
Yes.
What purpose that had, I'm not sure. I mean...
Oh, really? You don't know what purpose it served?
What, are you going to get disqualified?
I'm willing to bet that Mandy was going to throw Asuka out the ring and distract the ref.
Well...
Why else would you need a kendo stick?
I'm not going to get into the logistics of that, of how the ref has already seen her grab the kendo stick, and it'll just turn a blind eye.
We might as well. I mean, I've seen worse.
Yeah, so she grabs the kendo stick, but the key is that she leaves the ring skirts pulled up.
Yeah.
So it's on the ring, inside the ring, sort of.
Yeah, just right there underneath the rope.
Yeah, and so... Mandy goes to Irish Whip Asuka into the ropes, but Asuka turns it around and sends Mandy into the ropes, and she slips on the ring skirts, and that allows Asuka to hit her with a kick to the face, which on replay looked absolutely fucking devastating.
Oh my god, yes. I mean, props to him.
You could see her jaw
I mean,
try to exit her face.
Anybody who says wrestling's fake needs to look at that picture.
Yeah.
Tell me how that foot to that face is fake.
Yeah. And I don't think Asuka stiffed her too bad. But
oh, no, I don't think so. I think
it just looked good.
I think just the way the moment the picture was taken
That's why slow motion is a good thing to have.
Yes.
And then that's how Asuka got the win. Because...
But you didn't say that the ref actually went to move the apron off.
Did he?
The skirt off the apron. As soon as he did that, though, that's when Asuka slung Mandy into the ropes.
Okay.
But he was actually getting ready to kick it down.
Right, I see.
So I wasn't sure if it was...
If he was smartened up to the finish?
Well, I wasn't sure if that was supposed to happen.
Right.
Because if it was supposed to happen, why would he make an effort to go fix it?
Mm-hmm.
If it was supposed to happen.
Yeah. I mean, it could have ended up being a situation where if the ref didn't know the finish, he might have just done that.
And that's been known to happen, too.
Yeah. But I think it's kind of lame that Asuka has to... she essentially beat Mandy unclean by a distraction, by a slip. I don't see what there is to gain by protecting Mandy in that way. Just have Asuka beat her.
Yeah, it's not like Mandy has this big record to keep, or a title, or anything to protect.
No.
I mean, the only thing you're protecting is her record, which doesn't mean anything in WWE.
Well, yeah. Yeah. I don't really have much else to say about this.
No, I mean, for what it was, I'm just going to say it was all right.
It was there.
It was there. I'm glad I didn't pay to see it.
Asuka remains cold as ice.
Yes.
But after this, we had Kofi Kingston standing outside Vince's office.
Yeah.
Saying that he'd been there for an hour.
He'd been there since the pre-show.
And was told to wait or something.
Yeah.
And so Xavier and Big E come in, and they decide to barge into Vince's office together. And Vince gets up and he's like, "Where you been? I've been waiting for you for an hour."
Kofi's been outside the door waiting.
Yeah. Well, where the hell you been, pal?
Yeah.
So Xavier and Big E plead to make the WWE Championship match a triple threat match. With all that Kofi's done, and he's earned it, and do the right thing, Vince.
Yeah.
And Vince obliges. He says the WWE Championship match is now a triple threat.
Yeah.
And he tells Xavier and Big E that they're barred from ringside and that Kofi better just go out there now because it's next.
Yeah.
And so...
and of course the crowd just went nuts.
Yes, they were so happy. Like, Kofi was over as hell on this. This pay-per-view.
Kofi's been over since Mania, or since Rumble.
Well, since the Gauntlet before Elimination Chamber was really when he...
Well, that was just after the Rumble, wasn't it?
Yeah. That's where it turned for him, was that match.
Okay, yeah.
And then in the Chamber. Yeah. And so Kofi makes his entrance, but the ring announcer is informed and makes the announcement that the WWE Championship match is taking place later tonight.
Yeah.
And that this is a 2-on-1 tornado handicap match.
So how is it a triple threat if it's still a handicap match? It's not a triple threat.
Well, that's the key, is that Vince's words were, the WWE Championship match is now a triple threat.
Yeah.
He never said Kofi was in it.
That's true.
He said it is now a triple threat.
That's true.
So that's what they want to do to take him out.
Put Kurt Hawkins in there.
Not today, but
maybe next week.
Yeah, so it's a 2-on-1 tornado handicap match against the Bar.
Total waste of time, really. I mean, it went too long. It was nothing but a beatdown. That's all it was.
So we talked about this yesterday, but I liked the idea and the bait and switch to give them let them think you're giving them what you want and then take it away so that you can give it back to them later. And I like that. And my only problem with this was that it just went too long. Like you said, I think if you do this in a couple minutes, I think it's very effective.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's 2-on-1 and the size of Sheamus and Cesaro. I mean, Cesaro's shadow is bigger than Kofi.
Yeah, you can have Kofi get his hope spot in and just have the Bar beat them after that. Yeah, so...
Just total waste of time.
Yeah, just too much time. Kofi gets beaten up all the match, gets a brief hope spot, but the Bar dominate. But at first they won't pin Kofi. This was probably around the time the crowd started chanting, "This is boring."
I think it is.
Which is unfortunate. If you would have done it shorter, then you wouldn't have had that sort of reaction. It would have just been all heat and booing instead of transitioning into the "this is boring" parts.
Yeah, that's got to be the worst chant you can hear when you're in a ring.
Yeah.
I mean, even if they're chanting somebody else's name that's not in the match, is better than "this is boring."
Yeah. So, as they're refusing to pin Kofi, Big E and Xavier run down, but they're blindsided by Rusev and Nakamura, allowing Sheamus and Kofi to beat down on, Sheamus and Cesaro to beat down on Kofi some more, and they finally get the pin to mercifully put an end to Kofi Kingston's night.
Yeah, just total waste.
Yeah. I mean,
there was just no point in that whole match.
Well, I liked the angle.
I like the angle. I did,
and they've basically set it up as. And I was saying this around this time was that it's basically the Daniel Bryan WrestleMania 30 storyline, except now Bryan's the champion and Kofi is what Bryan was at that point.
But isn't that the WrestleMania that he had to beat Randy Orton and Triple H?
Well, it was he had to beat Triple H 1-on-1 to get into the triple threat with Randy and Batista.
Yeah.
And then he won at the end.
Yeah. So, is that what's going to happen with Kofi? Or is she going to have to, do a double duty?
No, I think, we'll get into it on SmackDown, what they end up setting up, and that's probably how they're going to get there.
Which I hate how they did that.
No.
I really do. We'll get to that.
Okay, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll get to that on SmackDown.
But, yeah. So, after this, we got another Elias song. And he's kind of narrating the events that have happened.
Because Lord knows we're watching it. We need somebody to tell us what we're watching.
Yeah. It was kind of like the, I said when they did the Braun Strowman flipping over Vince's limo and Corbin was hiding in there. You remember how they had Elias singing, telling Braun where Baron was hiding?
Yeah.
I remember I said at that time, what if Elias makes his gimmick that he just narrates the show in song? In theory, it was a lot better than when it actually happened.
So what do you think now?
It was a bad idea.
Okay. But at least you're big enough to admit that.
Yeah. We had Rico Black versus The Revival
Rico Black
versus Rude and Gable for the tag team titles. This was the only thing that we disagreed on the predictions, and this match allowed me to win the predictions.
So if I would have went with The Revival, we would have tied.
Yes.
And we'd still be tied for the year.
Yes.
Damn.
If only. But you'll get a chance to tie it in Mania.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Yeah, so I thought Ricochet and Black got a pretty good reaction for most of this.
I'm tired of seeing it.
Seeing what?
The same thing every week.
With Ricochet and Black?
Ricochet and Black against one tag team champion or another.
Yeah.
It's just move on or do something different. Give them the titles or let them go challenge somebody else. I'm just tired of seeing the same crap.
Yeah, well.
I mean, how many times have we seen Rude, Revival, and Ricochet and Black in the past month?
Well, they had...
Every week since they've teamed up.
Yeah, pretty
Twice a week. Mondays and Tuesdays, ever since Black and Ricochet teamed up.
Yeah. Well, they did different teams on SmackDown, like the Bar or whatever.
Well, yeah, they faced different teams, yeah. But still.
Yeah.
I mean, how are you going to shove them down our throat for nothing? I mean, you don't put somebody on Raw and SmackDown every week for, 3 weeks now?
Since, Royal Rumble, right?
Well, it hasn't been that long, has
or
it?
After that? I don't know.
After Chamber.
Hmm.
When they started teaming up. But, I mean, 3 weeks and we're seeing them 6 times.
Yeah.
And for what? I mean, there's nowhere for them to go.
Well, there's no real substance to it.
Yeah, there's no point.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going for a title match. Well, either give it to them or get them off the card.
Give a reason to care about it.
Yeah, there's just what you think because they're shoved down our throat. I'm supposed to care. I'm sorry, it's not Roman Reigns. You're not going to shove them down our throat and expect us to care. It's not going to work. We've been there.
Well, I don't know if it's that level of shoving them like that because
no, it's
they're having matches and they're winning is essentially all they've done.
Yeah, but I mean, most of their matches have been what, triple threats. Well, maybe half of them.
Well, this one was.
I think half of them been like triple threat.
I can't think of another
one. I thought there was like 2 more.
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm just do something.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same 3 teams regurgitated in a different match.
No, that's fair. So during Rude and Gable's entrance, I have a great Michael Cole line for you.
Okay.
He says, since there are no more automatic rematch clauses, Rude and Gable had to scratch and claw their way into this match.
How?
Well, you see, they ended the title match that Ricochet and Black had with a disqualification. So that is how they scratched and clawed their way back into this match.
Well, I don't understand how they get a title match when you've got Heavy Machinery that needs one. Where's Sanity? They could use a title match.
They're dead.
I know, but still, I mean, if there is no more automatic rematch clause,
right? There should be.
You need to automatically go to the bottom of the ladder.
Yeah, there should be more rotating parts.
But if that's the case, Charlotte would not be in every pay-per-view for the title.
Yeah. So, it starts off as a pretty slow match, but it really picks up, and I thought it was a good match.
It was a good match. There was a lot of fast-paced action, especially with Ricochet, as always.
Yeah,
and Black. Black's pretty cool. I mean...
Yeah, like, you like both of them.
I do like them. I do. I'm not saying
let's get that across, because...
Yes, I do
it probably sounded like you didn't.
That's true, and I didn't think about that. I do like them, yes. I mean, they're awesome to watch. They're very entertaining. They just need to figure out what the hell they're doing with them.
Yeah.
I understand it was a throw-together team.
Yeah, that's part of the problem, too. It's just that they're sort of thrown together.
You don't have to put them together.
No.
You don't have to have tag teams and more tag teams and more tag teams just because Teddy Long likes tag team matches.
Yeah, it gives him more options for when he comes back.
I mean, you don't need 1,000 people on one card.
Yeah. That's a completely fair thing to say.
Then we get crap like the Kofi and the Bar. Just because they have to get on TV, so let's put them in a beatdown.
Well, I don't think that was the purpose in that.
No, but stuff like that.
Okay.
You know, just you got so many people, you got so stupid angles and throwaway matches like this that you have to deal with just to get people on TV.
So there was a pretty bad botch in this match where Ricochet tries to do a Hurricane Rana to Dawson off the top rope to the outside, and I think the idea was that Dawson would go flying into everyone that would catch him.
Yeah.
But instead, Dawson fell and landed on the apron, and Ricochet also landed head first on the apron.
Head or neck first. It didn't really give a good view of it, but
yeah.
I tried to rewatch it a couple times, and it looked nasty. I'm
gonna say Ricochet is is a pleasure to watch, but if he continues doing things this way, it will not be for long.
But how do we know it was on him? It could have been on...
Well, I'm just saying that it's not that he can't do these things safely, but it's more so that he just does so much high flying and diving.
Yeah.
It's going to catch up with him.
Look at the Hardys.
Yeah.
You know,
they're still alive somehow.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if you listen to their interviews and stuff, you know, they've mentioned doing all those high-flying moves have shortened their career.
Yeah.
Look at Matt Hardy. He just came back after being gone for months.
Yeah.
From all the injuries and impact that his body's taken over the years.
And Matt has a lot of, I think Matt has like bad hips.
Yeah,
is one of the things that he's had.
Like Jeff won't do his swanton except on TV because it's too painful.
Yeah, and that's why he just lands with his full body weight on the person now.
Now he tries to, yeah.
Mm.
It used to be just, his upper shoulders and neck, but now it's just, he tries to, it's almost just like a big swanton.
It's a crouton bomb.
A crouton bomb.
Yeah.
I mean, it reminds me of what Samoa Joe does. Or Kevin Owens.
The senton,
The senton, not the swanton.
Yeah.
It's just like a senton.
Yeah, pretty much. So after that, Ricochet did do a wicked dive. Like, I hadn't really. I think I saw Kofi do this once, where he runs to the turnbuckle and jumps over the turnbuckle and the post to do a dive to the outside.
Yeah,
that looked awesome.
Yeah, and I think you're right. I think it was Kofi.
But like, I feel like that spot, it just makes him look like a superhero, just flying through the air.
And Ricochet.
That would be fun.
Either against each other or teamed up.
Oh, yeah.
Either way.
It'd be kind of like the Evan Bourne and Kofi team.
Oh, I love Evan Bourne.
Yeah.
Always did.
It's a shame he couldn't stay off the pot.
There's nothing wrong with the pot. Totally different show.
Yeah. No, that's a different podcast.
That'll be the WrestleMania episode.
Yeah. So that's how Ricochet took out Rude doing that dive, and that left Gable in the ring for himself for the Revival to take advantage and hit the Shatter Machine on Gable for the win. And they do a brawl afterwards, and Ricochet and Black take out everyone. And Ricochet hits 630 on Wilder. And speaking of the Jeff Hardy deal, Ricochet took a page out of his book and just landed with his full body weight on him.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's another move that's just like, every time it seems like he's landing right on his neck. Like, I can't see that being good for a long-term thing.
No, but he's still young and he's not thinking long-term.
Yeah, that's true.
Wait till he gets 5-6 years under his belt, doing that every day, 5 days a week.
Yeah.
He won't do it every day.
Yeah, so Revival retain. They got an entrance. That's something that they haven't gotten since they won the titles.
Did they?
Well, actually, they got an entrance, but it was like a split screen entrance or something.
I thought that was one where it came back from like some kind of video package, and they were already in the ring.
I know that they had an entrance.
Okay, maybe I'm thinking of a different match.
I don't know.
Might have been a different night. A different show. I don't know.
And they also got a win, which is something they haven't gotten since they won the titles. We had the Fatal 4-Way match for the United States title.
I
Joe
honestly did not like this.
Really? Just having the rematch?
Yeah, having another 4-person match.
Yeah.
Which we're going to get again. From what I read, we're getting it again at WrestleMania. Same 4 people.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, of course, that could change.
We'll see on that. I'll hold the skepticism on that.
We already seen it. We know they're not going to give up the title from Joe already.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's not Truth. He's not Black. He's not going to lose. Yes, I'm saying it because that's how I feel.
When you said that, I thought you meant he's not Aleister Black, but
I
see what you're saying now.
Okay. I mean, there's just no point to having this match again.
No.
When we just saw it a week ago.
Yeah, less than a week ago.
Well, yeah, less than a week
ago. Yeah, so
I didn't take any notes. I just noted who won.
I thought it was a good match, but
I mean, the match itself is alright, but I'm just tired of seeing the same thing. Give me something new. It's a pay-per-view.
I was looking forward to seeing Andrade versus Rey.
That'd be nice. I'd love to see that again. I love their matches. I know we've seen them before, like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah,
but they're always classics.
Yeah, and there's been enough time in between since they've had one,
or even Truth and Andrade.
Yeah, just something
with Carmella and Zelina on the outside.
Yeah,
I mean they kind of counteract each other because they both have a valet that can interfere and get involved.
Yeah, so Joe, of course, ends up retaining. He puts Rey to sleep with the Coquina clutch.
It doesn't take much. I mean, it seems like It seems like once he puts it on Mysterio, it's like, that's it.
Okay. I sleep now.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, maybe it's just because he's so much bigger than Ray.
Yeah.
And Ray sells it that good.
You want a note from this match?
Sure.
This was Andrade's first match on the main card of a pay-per-view since being called up last year.
Really?
Yeah.
Was he always pre-show?
Yes. Or not on the show at all.
Well, at least he
there was like a 4-month period where he wasn't on TV at all.
Oh, yeah, but that was the 4 months they didn't have anything for him to do.
Really? You don't say. I was wondering why he wasn't on TV, but it all makes sense.
Well, because we had to make room for another multi-person match, so he had to wait.
Yeah. So Joe retains, no surprise. They did other stuff on SmackDown that we'll talk about later. We had Bayley and Sasha versus Nia and Tamina. And
in case you didn't know, it's boss time.
Yes, indeed it is. Yeah, this match wasn't very good.
You see the botch?
Yeah, so there was a point where Tamina tried to, like, it was sort of like a back body drop onto Nia's shoulders with Sasha.
Yeah.
And Nia, for whatever reason, couldn't get a hold of her. She went to the ground, then just picked her back up.
Yeah, it looked crappy.
And that was not the only thing that went wrong in this match. Nothing really looked good.
No, I was not impressed with this match, really, until towards the end when we had, I'm not going to say outside interference, but outside participation.
Yeah, so, well, I guess that was after the match.
Oh, was it after?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bayley pins Nia with a Hurricane Rana into a pin.
Some kind of roll-up?
Yeah, it's kind of like the West Coast pop that Ray does, where he does the Hurricane Rana into the pin. I can't for the life of me understand why you have Tamina in this match and you pin Nia.
I mean, you'd think they'd pin Tamina because Nia is the number one bad guy right now.
Yeah.
On the women's side.
Yeah.
She's number one suspect. Why would you, I'm not going to say hurt her, but in a way it does hurt her.
Yeah.
You had a 20-pound Bayley, just do a little flip and pin on Nia Jax.
I wanted to mention, too, you remember on the Elimination Chamber show where you pointed out how Cole called Nia and Tamina the heavy favorites?
Yeah.
So on WWE's Twitter, they posted the picture of Bayley pinning Nia, and in all caps they write it was an enormous upset for Bayley.
Wow, WWE.
For Bayley and Banks.
You're racist. I mean, we already covered that last week. And now you're fat shaming.
Body shaming.
Body shaming, fat shaming, same thing.
Yeah. So what
the hell?
And Nia called him out on it too.
Did she? Good.
She and like the way the picture is, the picture is basically just like how Bayley has her rolled up. It's a picture of her ass.
Oh.
And so Nia was like, it was nice that you put an enormous upset and then had a picture of my ass there.
See, WWE is not all that. They don't care. They give no shit. None.
Maybe the social media guy just went rogue.
I don't know. Maybe he just did that and said, screw it, I quit. I watched this. Hold my beer.
Yeah. So, I think you were ahead of the curve on that one, though.
Yeah, I think I was a few weeks ahead.
Because you called that out long ago.
2 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago?
Well, it was Elimination Chamber, so whenever that was, so around there.
Well, that was just last month.
Yeah, that's right. Like around
just 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. Yeah, so...
Wow.
Nia and Tamina attack them after the match, and, Nia throws Sasha, I think, over the announce table.
Yeah.
So, because and I haven't even mentioned that Beth Phoenix was on commentary for this match.
Which is cool, because I love Beth Phoenix.
I don't love Beth Phoenix commentary.
I'm not saying her commentary. I just like her.
I think Beth Phoenix added about as much to commentary as Renee normally does, where they just go, "Oh my God, did you see that?
The background.
Wow."
Yeah, Yeah, Renee is the background noise of commentary.
Yeah.
But that's okay. It works for her. Once in a great...
I would argue that
I know.
But
once in a great while, she does have some insight.
Yeah, I thought she was actually good in what they did with Dean on Raw. But
yes.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah, that she was. But yeah, we'll get to that on Raw.
Yeah, so because the commentators have to clear the area, it ends up being that Beth ends up standing in, was it Tamina or Nia's face? Tamina, I have noted. And
okay, yeah, sure.
and Beth ends up punching Tamina. And then Nia takes her out, and then they both beat up on Beth, and then Natalya comes out and tries to help, but she gets beat up too. And that was this segment.
Now, while she might be retired and a Hall of Fame inductee, she's in damn good shape.
Yeah, I noted that a lot more on Raw.
And she did not quit due to injury or some reason like that. No. So she's still able to wrestle if she wanted to.
Yeah,
Are we going to see her back in the ring?
Well, that's like what it looks like we're going to.
Well, I know what it looks like, but this is WWE. That don't mean crap.
Yeah.
I'm just asking, in your opinion, are we going to see her come back?
I'm sure she's going to have
a one-off match with
a WrestleMania match
with Natty against Tamina.
Yeah, probably.
Let's just make it a triple threat and throw Banksley in there.
Yeah, it's cool that Beth looks that damn good at being 38 and just having children.
And from out of the ring for so long.
Yeah,
I mean, come on, she's married to Edge.
If Booker T was still on commentary, he'd be going like, "Man, she looking jacked, man."
Yeah. Which, I mean, I kind of miss Booker T. I do. I'll admit.
But in a way.
Yeah, in a way. I mean, some of his stuff was stupid, but some of it I do miss.
Just to laugh.
Yeah, pretty much.
We had the WWE Championship match, which is still announced as a triple threat match.
Yeah.
By Greg Hamilton.
But
and
doesn't say who.
Yeah. So the third entrant ends up being Mustafa Ali.
So we get KO versus DB versus MA.
Yeah.
And I've never heard Ali get booed so much.
Yeah.
And it's not his fault either.
This was Rey Mysterio at the 2014 Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
This crowd wanted Kofi. They wanted nothing but Kofi. And so you gave them a babyface, who is never going to get the same reaction.
At least not for a while.
And, well, I mean just in this circumstance.
Gotcha. No.
Yeah, because of course he's going to get booed. I don't know why you wouldn't put a heel in this spot. And, like, the only one I can think of that you really could put in there is Randy Orton.
Yeah, I mean, you could have.
And they did the spot with him later on, but you could have done the same thing here and had AJ come out and take out Orton.
Yeah, being a triple threat, there's no disqualification.
Yeah.
That could have set it up even better. I like that.
Yeah. Well, but instead we got Mustafa Ali. And we want Kofi Chance drowned out the arena.
Oh my God, yes.
And to their credit, to all three of their credits, they did eventually bring him back in because the match was very good. I called it a great spot fest of a match.
I mean, it was a good match. Of course, I mean, I didn't write a whole lot down.
Yeah.
The first thing I've got was about the drop kick from Bryan to Ali on the top rope.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. There was a lot of good stuff in this match.
But KO did not sell that super kick from Ali at all. Ali gave him a super kick. He didn't sell it, turned around, and gave him one of his own.
Oh, yeah.
And just kept on going. Didn't even sell it.
Yeah, that's indie stuff.
But this ain't indies, and he's been here long enough to know better.
Well, they do it in WWE too now.
But not much. I mean, a super kick?
Yeah.
I mean, how much last time you seen a super kick not get sold?
Well,
besides here.
Well, outside of WWE, it happens all the time.
Well, outside, I don't care about, because I'm not reporting on outside.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you see it a lot where, like, you can no sell it at first and then do your move and then sell it afterwards.
Well, yeah, that I get.
But Owens didn't do that.
No, and I was expecting maybe to drop to a knee or something like that.
Yeah.
But he didn't do anything.
Yeah.
He just turned around and kept fighting.
Yeah, I agree.
Now that I get. I mean, momentum.
Yeah, like the Rollins and Reigns spot where Seth does the buckle bomb and Roman comes out with the Superman punch and then they both go down.
Yeah.
Like that. That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I get that because they both go down. It's still sold. It's just momentum or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But it's still sold.
Right.
This wasn't.
No, I agree with you.
And I love the Spanish Fly.
Oh, yeah.
I love watching that. Oh, my God.
I thought, like, Owens was really the odd man out in this match.
He really was.
And this was his returning match, and I can't remember really much of anything that he did.
Besides that super kick, that's the only note I have about KO.
Yeah.
Everything else is Bryan and Ali.
Yeah.
Which, God, is that going to set it up for a triple threat at Mania?
Or a fatal 4-way.
Oh, let's just have a brawl for all.
Yeah. So the finish of this match was also awesome because you have Ali attempting to do like he has his back turned, standing on the ropes, and he's going to do the crossbody. But Bryan comes in and hits him with the running knee in midair, and that gets the pin for Daniel Bryan.
Yeah. But man, KO did get that pop-up powerbomb on Ali on the apron.
Yeah.
And I don't care. I've never seen the ring underneath the apron. I know it's the hardest part of the ring.
Yeah.
But that shit's gotta hurt. It just has to.
Well, before they would do that to write someone off.
Yeah, that's how they
would. With Jericho and Sami Zayn.
Yeah, that way it was a legit injury looking, and they could be gone for a while.
Yeah.
But it just looks painful as hell.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I've never stepped foot on a ring. I don't know how hard it is. But they always say it's the hardest part of the ring.
Right.
I have no reason to doubt them.
Well,
it's
where it's supported.
Yeah, that's raw. Everything is
because the middle is made to give, but the apron is where it's held down.
all the what? I'm not gonna say the
support
pylons,
beams.
But yeah, the beams. Sorry, had a southern moment.
Yeah. So good match. They did kind of get the crowd into it at points, but it was overwhelmingly we want Kofi chance.
Yeah. And I can't blame them because I want Kofi.
Yeah. But that's also what they wanted too. That's I think in a way that's the reaction that they still wanted.
I just think they're racist.
You think I'm racist?
No, WWE.
No, well...
No, not you. What the hell?
I thought that's what you said.
No, I just tried to cut it down so it didn't get on the mic very much.
What about when if Kofi does end up winning the title at WrestleMania? We'll drop that.
If they actually do it, then yeah, I'll be glad to say I was wrong. On air.
Okay.
But I don't think they're going to do it.
We'll see. We had the Becky versus Charlotte match. If Becky wins, she is added to the match that she already should be in. And
which, like she did make the point, she did, I mean, that basically win the opportunity twice to be in her own match.
Yep. Man, so...
obviously we knew Becky was going to win.
Yeah.
I did not expect this to be how.
I did actually kind of expect this.
Really?
Well, I wasn't sure because Becky even makes fun of it that Ronda has inconsistencies with what she wants. Like at one point, she was vacating the title because she wanted Becky to be in the match. So if I was taking that moment, I was thinking like, well, Ronda wants Becky to be in the match, so she'll help Becky to win somehow. But then after that, she beat down Becky the week before this match.
Yeah.
So it was kind of confusing. But I'm going to tell you how I would have done this. I think that this should have been when before the match starts, and you have Becky still on the crutch, and she's still hobbling to the ring.
On the wrong leg.
Probably. At some points. But what I would have done here was when the bell rings, you still have Becky on the crutch, and Charlotte's she's confident. She has beaten down Becky to take advantage of, and as soon as the bell rings, Becky just slowly lifts the crutch up and drops it to the outside, and she's completely fine.
And see, that's what I was thinking too. I really thought that's what she was.
And then you can have Charlotte sell that with the oh shit, I'm screwed.
Yeah. And
then I would have had Becky win quickly because, and you could say that
just shock and awe.
Yeah, and you could say that would hurt Charlotte, but on commentary you can put over that Charlotte was expecting to have a handicapped Becky. She was expecting this to be an easy match.
Yeah.
She was caught off guard, and that's how Becky was able to win so quickly.
And I could get behind that because it's just damn, bell rang and she got rid of the crutch and she's fine. Oh shit, I'm screwed.
Yeah.
Just shock and awe. I could get behind that. It'd be a perfect setup.
Right.
Without bringing Rousey into it.
Yeah. So.
But I wasn't upset the way they did it. I really wasn't.
What they actually did, and this match didn't last long.
No.
And Charlotte had Becky in the figure 4 when Ronda runs down, and she makes sure to strike Becky to get Becky the disqualification win.
And she only hit her once.
Yeah. She didn't beat anyone down afterwards.
Nope. She just stood in the corner.
Yeah.
Screw that. If I'm going to do a disqualification, it's going to be worth it.
Well, I guess it was the point she was trying to get across, is that all she wanted was Becky to be in the match.
And I get that, which is cool. I did kind of like there's just one hit, boom, you're done. Okay, well, you got DQ'd, you win. See you next month.
Yep. Now, as long as we don't get, it's a shame because Becky's so cooled off compared to what she was at Royal Rumble and going into there. And I hope that what they do from here is that they just have Becky, Charlotte, and Ronda sell the match on their own. No more McMahons, no more suspensions, no more arrests.
Well, there's only 3 weeks left, so
yeah, you have to put this in the microwave. They had this hot meal ready for them. We're ready to dig in, but WWE took it and they put it in the freezer.
Yeah.
And now we're sitting there de-thawing it and getting ready to put it in the microwave and trying to get back what we once had.
Try to salvage what flavor you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where we're at with this.
Good luck with that.
Do you have anything else on this?
On this one, no.
Okay. So
next one I do.
Before the next match, we had Elias again.
Oh, yeah.
And this is where Lacey Evans interrupts and makes her obligatory appearance.
Honestly, I really don't care about her.
There is one thing I care about Lacey Evans for.
What?
I enjoy seeing her ridiculous outfits every week.
Oh, okay.
Because she wears something completely different every week, and they're so extravagant that I do kind of like seeing what she's wearing. That sounds creepy now that I say that.
It is. Same creeper. But it's just getting old.
Well, yeah. But no, I don't disagree with you.
It's just getting old. She comes to the ring. She turns around. She leaves. She doesn't say nothing. She doesn't do anything. Holy crap, it's EC3.
Yeah.
Wait, this must be EC 3.0 or 3.1. Because what's the point? Really, you're not...
Maybe they'll pay it off eventually.
You've ruined the mystery of why she's doing it by having her doing it so much. To me. This is just my opinion.
Right.
I think you've overplayed it. You've oversaturated it to where now it doesn't mean anything.
It's
because everybody sees it every week.
It's what's her Emelina.
Yes. You played the damn video for that months and months and months, and then she comes out and that's it.
Then she said, "I'm not Emelina.
I'm not Emelina. I'm going back to Emma." It's like, what the hell? Why did you wait 4 months of my life telling me I'm going to get something cool just to get Emma?
Oh man!
Now I'm waiting and waiting and waiting for this stupid act to get their crap together, And for what? To come out, turn around, and walk back? This ain't the next top model. This ain't no runway, walkway. Just either get your ass down the ramp to the ring or stay your ass home.
So after Lacey Evans leaves, Randy Orton comes in and he RKO's Elias.
Yes.
For what reason?
Oh, God.
For what reason, I don't know.
Because he was tired of seeing him every 2 minutes on the screen.
That was like the babyface thing to do, though, and Orton's the heel, so there's that. But
Orton's one of those that can do what he wants.
Right, that's true. And so, basically, immediately after Orton hits the RKO, AJ Styles is standing on the apron, and he hits a phenomenal forearm.
Yeah, where the hell did he come from?
Yeah, I have some logistical issues with that. Was AJ, like, stalking Randy Orton all day and waiting for him to go to the ring, and as soon as he did, he was like, okay, it's time.
I don't know. I'd like to know where he came from. I'd like to know where Orton came from.
Just under the ring, through the crowd, wherever.
But that's a long time to be under the ring, because this was, at the end of the night.
Well, they have ways to do it during the show.
Well, yeah, we've talked about that.
Yeah.
But still, that's... I don't know.
And he might have just came through the crowd.
And that could be, too. That seems to be the easiest.
Yeah.
They come through the timekeeper's area. They don't even have to jump the barricade.
Yeah.
Lazy asses.
So, at this point, it was where we realized that by default, or more or less, that the Shield is going to close the show.
Yeah.
And so, just for the record, we had Baron Corbin in the main event of a pay-per-view.
Yeah, I know.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Well, it is Fastlane. Who cares?
Yeah. So
it's not like a SummerSlam or something.
Yeah, so this was the main event, and this was like a best hits album. Like, like they're saying that this is supposedly the last time the Shield would be together. And so that they played their best hits. They did your go-to Shield match.
I hated it.
Yeah.
I hated it. All the way through.
The whole thing.
It's the way it started ticked me off. The way it kept going ticked me off. When it did get to be okay, I was too pissed off to care.
Well, it was 2/3 of a Raw main event where Corbin and Lashley and whoever else work over the Shield.
And that's not even it. My problem is there's not much of a match. People are just coming and going, hitting whoever they want, doing whatever the fuck they want. The ref's just standing there with his thumb up his ass, don't know what to do. This ain't a match. This is just a free-for-all. And it ruined it for me.
Well, that's what I'm saying, that it's the go-to Shield match.
But it ruined it.
That's what they do a lot.
I don't need to see 6 people come in the ring, do their finishers just for 5 of them to get up.
Yeah.
I don't need to see it. Especially on the main event.
Well, I think a lot of the time when they have this match that it's a no disqualification match with the Shield style.
Well, they never said it.
No, this wasn't a no
But
disqualification.
it technically was, because you had all 6 people in the ring at one time.
Yeah, it might as well have been.
What happened to, if you're not in the legal man of the match and you hit somebody who is, you're disqualified.
Well, I was going to mention...
there should have been like 8 disqualifications right there.
Yeah, so it was chaotic, and they did the whole thing where Dean and Seth fight 2 of them into the crowd, and...
Now, that part was cool.
Yeah.
But,
and Seth did the dive off the stairs to Drew, I think, below. And this was... Essentially, I noted when it happened that this was the opposite of the Revival's Follow the Rules campaign. And, in fact, Corbin would later tweet that the refs in WWE need to take a class from Dawson and Wilder on tag rules.
No, screw that. They can take a class from Kurt Hawkins.
Yeah.
He's the best ref I've seen in a decade.
If Kurt was the referee here, then he would have thrown everybody out. He would have got everyone in their corners.
We would have had a real match. Not some, let's just do what we want because the ref ain't going to do a damn thing.
Yeah. The only way you would enjoy this match is if you ignored that there are rules.
And that's hard to do when you know there's rules.
Yes. So, to get into some of the specifics, McIntyre ate a triple powerbomb through the announce table. And fittingly, I did like how they ended this in a way because...
I didn't. It wasn't quick enough.
So, you have Lashley and McIntyre taken out, which... Lashley, I didn't even know how he did get taken out because he was down forever, but I guess he was hit by a stomp and that took him out.
Yeah.
And so it leaves Corbin in the ring by himself, and the Shield do the playing their best hits. They each get on a side of the ring and surround Corbin.
Which I never understood that. You got
there's
three
an open
people.
side.
Yeah, you got 3 people to cut off a 4-sided ring.
Yeah.
Guess what? There's always an opening.
Yeah.
I've never understood that.
No, there is a loophole.
And no one ever runs. Okay, what do I do? They're coming for me. I don't see the open spots.
Yeah. So, they beat down on Corbin, and they're getting ready to do the triple power bomb. And this is where Seth has the line of the night, where he says, "One more MFing time."
Wow.
They bleeped that out, but
yeah.
But you could tell what he was saying. So Reigns gets the pin on Corbin off the triple power bomb, and you have the closing image of the Shield doing the fist bump and the hugs and all that.
Last time ever until next time.
Well, if Dean actually leaves,
We heard the same thing about Triple H and Undertaker.
neither of them were leaving.
Well, no, but we've heard last time ever, and then it happened at last time again.
I know. I'm not saying that it won't.
So, I mean, now rumors that I've read still say that Dean is leaving. You know,
It's up in the air, though.
I mean, that's just what the last I've read is he is still leaving. Of course, it's a rumor.
That's what Meltzer is adamant that Dean is still leaving.
Yeah, but I mean, he's pretty on.
Mm.
Meltzer's pretty. I mean, he's pretty. I'd say 90% of the time he's right.
Yeah. Well, I think when he's that persistent on it, he's said that even after all of this stuff, that no, he's still leaving.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it's possible that it could change. Like right now, he might be leaving, but tomorrow he might change his mind.
You know, maybe Vince will come up with a better offer to give him.
Yeah.
Because it's not about the money.
Yeah.
It's about the creative control.
Yeah.
And I get it, too. I mean, look at all the crap he had to do after Reigns announced he had leukemia again. Look at all the crap he had to do. All the backstage segments with burn barrels and gas masks and doctor's visits and getting shots. I mean,
yeah.
Come on, you know that wasn't Dean's idea.
I would imagine not.
His idea was what's going down right now. Somebody leaving the company and teasing.
Yeah.
Until the time comes and they don't leave. That was his idea. So that's why I don't know where to side with him leaving or not.
Yeah.
Because
I guess we'll see when the time comes.
I mean, I guess we'll find out the Monday after Mania.
Yeah.
Because that'll probably be his last day if it's true.
Yeah. So Fastlane overall, I say, for one, it was a completely unnecessary show. But for what it was, I wasn't ever bored watching it. So I'll at least give it a 2.5 out of 5.
A letter grade.
That would be a C.
I'm giving it a C.
Yeah, I would deal with the C.
Just a lot of it just ticked me off. A lot of it was pointless. And I'm sorry, if you're gonna waste my time on stupid crap, I'm gonna lower the grade.
Yeah. So, want to get into Raw?
Well, that seems to be the next show.
I guess you're right.
Unless you want to, just mix them up for the week, and we'll do SmackDown next.
No, we got to do chronological order.
Why, is there any rule on that?
No.
Okay.
We can do whatever we want. The Shield opened the show on Raw, and plus my notes are in Raw and SmackDown.
Before we get started on Raw, it was noted on Sunday night on Total Bellas that Brie Bella is officially retired.
Yeah, I saw that.
After Evolution happened. It's just, Brie, the Total Bellas is just now covering Evolution from 6 months ago. But I just figured I'd throw it out there, in case anybody is wondering, well, where's the Bellas since we saw them before?
I'm sure plenty of people are just on the edge of their seats.
I'm sure the 3 people out there wondering.
Mm-hmm.
But at least we know Brie is officially retired. She wants to have a second kid.
Well, best of luck to her.
Good. Yeah, more power to her. She's got her own businesses going on, so
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind trying their wine, though.
Anyway, so the Shield opened the show. Roman cuts a quick promo saying that if last night was the last time ever, he has no regrets. And each one of them have their own business to take care of.
Oh, yeah.
And he puts over Seth's match against Lesnar, and that Dean is leaving, and Roman wants to have a match tonight, his first match back on Raw.
Oh, you missed what he said about Ambrose.
What did he say?
Yeah, he was talking about the business that everybody had. He goes, I know Ambrose got business. He don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But good luck.
Yeah, exactly.
And it just made me laugh.
Yeah. So they do the fist bump gimmick, and Roman and Dean leaving Seth in the ring, which was kind of an awkward transition.
Yeah, it was.
But Seth remains in the ring to cut a promo, but out comes Paul Heyman.
Yep.
And they have a little back and forth promo here, and Seth points out how close Lesnar was to losing to Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles, and Finn Balor. And he points out that all 3 of those guys have similar size and skill sets to Seth himself. But he says, with all due respect, pretty much that I'm better than all of them.
But he does have a point if you think about it. Think about all the matches in the past couple years of Lesnar's. Big Show, Strowman, Reigns, all big men, all lost. Didn't really have a chance. But then you got Bryan and Styles and Balor. Little people compared to Lesnar. And they had him on the edge of defeat.
Yeah, right.
So, I mean, he brings up a good point, and a lot of people may not see it that way.
Yeah. But I also loved... because this was it all made sense, because Paul had a great response to that.
Yeah.
It was that he points out how in each of those cases, the match was changed in like the last week before the match. When Lesnar was supposed to face Jinder Mahal, he ended up facing AJ Styles. When he was supposed to face AJ Styles, he ended up facing Daniel Bryan.
Yep.
And when he was supposed to face Braun Strowman, he ended up facing Finn Balor. So he did not have time to adequately prepare.
Bull. And the reason I say bull is because he had months between those matches to prepare. It don't matter who you're going against. If you're going to be gone for months at a time, you better be able to face anybody when you come back.
Well, he didn't have time to scout his opponents.
He don't need to. He's supposed to be the greatest in the world.
But even with that, they only came close to beating him.
Yeah.
So, but I liked the, and Paul's the heel, so you're not supposed to agree with him.
Yeah.
But he brings up a point that at least makes sense.
No, yeah, it does.
So that works. Yeah. So Paul continues his promo when out of nowhere, Shelton Benjamin comes in and blindsides Seth Rollins and throws him around with some suplexes.
Where's he been?
Well, now he's here because brand split be damned.
I mean, really, where's he been? Is he a new Heyman guy?
I don't think so. I think the way Heyman put it was that he hired Benjamin to do a job.
But if you listen to commentary, and of course you have to actually listen carefully, that Benjamin and Lesnar have actually, they've wrestled before together outside of WWE. They've got a history.
Yeah, in Minnesota.
Yeah. So, I mean, could be a Heyman guy. Maybe Heyman guy in training.
No. There's no point with Benjamin because, there's nothing to gain. He's not at the point
he can take the Intercontinental title and take it off TV for months at a time.
At the point in his career, he's not going to do a lot.
Yeah, he may not do a lot, but I mean, I guess it depends on what Vince wants, of course. I don't see. I mean, if you're going to have Paul Heyman show up every couple weeks without Lesnar, you better have him with somebody. Otherwise, there's no point. It's just a fat guy coming out and talking crap into a mic.
Nah, I disagree, actually. I like, because they've done it before, and I never thought it worked, like when you did it with Curtis Axel, and whoever, like, with Punk it worked, because they're genuinely friends, and it worked. But I like the exclusivity that Heyman and Lesnar have together.
I guess it would be, I don't know, maybe it would be better to see and understand if I could actually see Lesnar.
Yeah.
But instead he just...
well, that's where all our problems go back to.
Yeah.
And
I'll tell you now, if at WrestleMania he don't lose the title, I may not come back on the show. I may not watch wrestling anymore. And I'm dead serious. It's ruining it for me, because the main show of the week is 3 hours long, and all those wrestlers have nothing to chase. There's no point. What, you're going to work your ass off for a mid-title of the IC or US? Depending on your brand.
Yeah.
What's the point?
No, I agree.
So I may take a break after Mania.
Well, let's hope that doesn't happen then.
That's on Vince. It really is.
But we'll got to keep things moving, because we have still have too much stuff to get into.
Yeah.
Can't get sidebarred on Lesnar.
So easy.
I know. Yeah. So Shelton kind of tried to wrestle this match like Brock would have, with the suplexes and all that.
And that's pretty much it.
But this match was a lot of resting. There wasn't a lot to it. Shelton tries to do an F5, but Seth lands on his feet, does the super kick into a curb stomp, gets the pin on Shelton Benjamin.
No big deal of a match, not really.
No, but I'll give him that. The Seth and Lesnar program has just had no forward momentum yet, and this at least got it rolling.
Can't have forward momentum when half the people don't show.
I know.
I mean, it's just fact. You can't have one person pushing a storyline by himself.
But it's okay. Lesnar will be there next week.
That don't mean nothing. The less he shows, the less his matches mean. To me.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying now. We had Finn Balor versus Bobby Lashley for the Intercontinental Title.
Oh, shit.
So, yeah. There's no Leo Rush accompanying Bobby Lashley, because I guess we're supposed to believe that he's still injured from when Braun put him through the barricade.
Mm.
And so, during Finn's entrance, Bobby Lashley appears full screen on the Titantron with just a close-up of his face. What the hell was the point of this?
I don't know. I have no idea.
I
see you.
like,
I'm watching you.
I did not understand this. Yeah, so I thought this match was mad boring, even without getting into the finish.
Yeah, it was.
Lashley took control of most of the match, and when Finn finally started to get his stuff rolling, and he's about to go up for the coup de grace, there's a short man in a hoodie that comes in and rings the ring bell.
Yeah, like 100 times.
And you could tell that he didn't have practice ringing the ring bell, because the first time it didn't make the correct noise. Because you have to hit it at just the correct spot to make it actually make the right noise. And so this distracts Finn for several minutes. Finn looked like a lost dog looking out at Leo Rush. And instead of focusing on Lashley in the ring, he tries to take out Leo. And he does eventually take him down. And then he tries to do a springboard into the ring on Lashley, but Lashley hits him with the spear. And that is the pin for Lashley. And Lashley wins back the Intercontinental title that he lost to Finn at Elimination Chamber, right? Yeah.
I think it's a bullshit way to get the title off of him. I mean, why do titles always have to change hands on matches that can't be clean? Why can we never have a clean fucking match?
Well, I wouldn't have liked this even if it was a clean win for Lashley.
Well, this one, no. But, I mean, creative needs to be tarred and feathered to think this was a good idea. And Vince is no better because he okayed it.
Yeah.
But the only good thing behind this is the rumor is Vince has something else planned for Balor at Mania.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is, but
I guess we'll see. But
I think it was a total crap way of getting the title off of him.
But here's what I get out of this, and I complained about it at the time, that I didn't like how Finn won the title because he didn't beat Lashley. He didn't establish that he was the better wrestler in that match.
But he didn't have to. That was the point of that match.
I get that that's what they wanted, but it didn't put over Finn.
No, gotcha.
Because all he did was pin Leo Rush, and what accomplishment is that?
He won the title.
I get that, but it wasn't impressive. He didn't, because Lashley hasn't taken pins, and every time Lashley and Balor are in the ring together, including in that match, Lashley dominates the offense.
Yeah.
There's never been a point where you even think that Finn is better than Lashley.
Oh, good point. Good point.
And now they just put the title right back on Lashley.
Yeah, I think it was just a waste to even put it on Balor. I think they did just to shut some people up and be like, oh, yeah, watch this.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only thing I can think of.
I think it's just that...
Or
because everything is booked week to week and they don't have long-term plans.
But they do. For some.
They do and they don't.
Yeah, they do for some.
In this case,
No.
It was... They put the title on Finn, but did not have a single idea of what to do with him afterwards. And then, if what the reports are to be believed, they found an idea for Finn now, so they needed to get the title off.
And that's the only thing I could think of, is because something is going to happen between now and Mania with Balor to where he's going to not need the belt, or there just needs to be off him for some other reason.
Yeah.
I hated it. I totally hated it.
Yeah, I thought this sucked.
I mean, and
every bit of it sucked. The match wasn't good. The finish wasn't good.
And so far, this is not a very good show.
Yeah. So, we have Ronda Rousey out next. And she... I wrote Becky for some reason, but Ronda calls the crowd right away bandwagon bitches.
Yeah. Since when is it okay for WWE to call the audience bitches?
Well, she's the heel.
I don't care. This is still a family show. Why are you calling the audience members bitches that pay your fucking salary?
So that you can see her get beaten up on the pay-per-view.
I disagree. There's some lines that have to be drawn.
Okay. I see, but...
And I'm not saying I took it to heart and I'm upset about it. I'm not. But...
Such a snowflake you are, Chris.
Yeah. At the same time, you cannot sit there and call people bitches and tell everybody, oh, you're on my family show. Well, screw you, bitches.
Well, what about when they call each other bitches? Is that a difference?
If it's written between them, yeah, that's fine. But it shouldn't be on TV, period. Even on pay-per-view, because families watch it.
Yeah.
You can't sit there and do one thing because it's a family show and just totally do the opposite because you want to.
It is very conflicting.
I mean, either make up your mind. There's bleeding or there's no bleeding. There's cussing or there's no cussing. It's family-oriented or it's not. It can't be this one week and this another.
Well, they want to have their cake and eat it too.
Well, I'm sorry, but their fat asses can't.
Yeah, so Ronda goes on, and she has a nice line that she says, everyone booing her right now would cower in fear if they were face-to-face with her, and the barrier separates them.
If she's so good, why'd she lose her last two matches at MMA?
Well,
if she's that good, if she's the baddest woman on the planet, how come she sucked the last two matches of UFC?
Well, that's the same thing they did with Lesnar. When he came back from UFC, he had lost his last two matches.
Yeah, but he didn't quit because he lost.
Well, he quit because of the diverticulitis.
Yeah, he had a reason.
Yeah.
It's not like Rousey who, boo-hoo, I lost, I'm going to go do something else.
Yeah.
And I don't care if she is the baddest woman on the planet. She doesn't make for good TV. Not to me. Not on promos. I don't see it. Maybe I'm just waiting for WrestleMania for her to be gone. I don't know. I've liked her matches, but on the mic she sucks.
I thought she did better as the heel character she had here.
She's been around for long enough. She should be better on the mic by now. And I'm not saying she was horrible, but she should have been better.
I don't know. But I thought she delivered everything well here and she's much better as a heel than a face. And I don't know. It's there can be two different tales of Ronda Rousey promos where some of them are really good and the others are really bad.
Yeah.
I didn't mind this one. Ronda does the whole disrespecting the wrestling business thing, and she called it carny and con artist and all that.
Well, if it's that bad, why'd she sign a contract? I mean, I want somebody to ask her, if it's that bad, why are you here?
Yeah.
If you hate it so bad, get the hell out. Oh wait, get the F out.
Yeah. Yeah, we never even talked about the whole Ronda Rousey outside of like on her Twitter and the vlog stuff. But they haven't really put that in on TV until now, and they only vaguely did it. But whatever. So Dana Brooke ends up coming out.
Yeah.
Why?
Hey, props to her for just wanting to be on TV for once.
Yeah. So
she looks different though. What am I missing?
Her face looks completely different.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe just different makeup?
I don't know.
Something's different.
Yeah, she didn't look like Dana Brooke. But,
no. I mean, the body was Dana Brooke, but the head was somebody else.
Yeah. So Dana comes out. She says that she has nothing left to lose. I'll say.
That's right, because we forgot you were even employed.
Yeah, she says she's not a household name like Ronda. She's not on TV, but all she wants is a chance. And she challenges Ronda to a match, and Ronda just beats her up instead.
Yeah.
Ragdolls her around, the whole throws.
That's the only thing Ronda could do.
I think you're being way too critical on Ronda at this point.
The only thing you ever see her do is the damn arm drag, ragdoll throw, and an arm bar. And maybe a clothesline once in a while.
The nice takedowns, too.
Yeah, and I've seen fifth grade wrestlers that can do takedowns, too. What's your point?
Not the way she does.
Okay, 8th grade.
Whatever. And she does the crossbody off the top rope sometimes.
Yeah, and I've seen Brie Bella do it, too.
Yeah, but she wouldn't have made it.
That's true. I've seen Charlotte do it. How about that?
Yeah, with 15 flips. Yeah, so, and she goes to put her in the armbar, but doesn't, and says off mic that pay $60 and I'll show you an armbar.
Yeah.
Because I guess saying subscribe to the WWE Network and start your free month and I'll show you an armbar was too much of a mouthful to put in.
And does she realize that $60 would get you would get you half a year?
Well, you can still buy pay-per-views, I'm pretty sure, for $60.
I don't know if you can or not.
On cable, you can.
Can you?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll have to check. We've got satellites. I'll have to check on the next pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I have to see if it's still, because I didn't know you could still buy pay-per-views.
Yeah. To my knowledge, you still can.
I thought you had to get it on the network.
I at least think that.
Why would anybody want to buy it?
I don't know why anyone would.
I mean, you're going to pay $60 for a 4 or 5 hour show when you can pay $10 for the whole month?
Yeah.
And get that show plus maybe another one?
Yeah.
That makes no sense.
So, we had Rick Black versus Rude and Gable.
Imagine that.
Formulaic match is how I put it.
I mean, the only note I have, besides the ending, is the German suplex into the blockbuster combo.
Yeah. Rude and Gable are being, like, they've been very creative with the tag team moves they do.
Yeah, and I love that.
I appreciate that they're putting the time in to think of those sort of things.
Yeah, because that's something, I mean, it's not something you see all the time.
Yeah. And, I mean, they have the awesome move where Rude does the neck breaker and Gable, like, at mid-neck breaker does the moonsaults onto him.
Yeah, I like that.
That's an awesome move.
They've got some great double team moves.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a team that I wouldn't have ever expected.
Gable is so criminally underutilized at this point.
Oh, my God. He is so good.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I like where he's at now with Rude.
Yeah.
They make a good team. Now that they're kind of on the same page, they're not coming out with, Rude turning around on camera, and then here comes Gable.
Yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah, so Black pins Rude with the Black Mass, and then the Revival knocked down Rick Black on the ramp.
Yeah. Imagine.
Yeah. We have a moment of bliss where she is set to announce the host of WrestleMania. And normally these moment of bliss segments are terrible, but I guess you couldn't really screw this one up too bad.
You can't, because it's the only one that's not interrupted.
Yeah. So, Alexa kicked like a video package, and it had like the Hollywood sign, and someone getting out of a limo.
As soon as I saw the Hollywood sign, I'm thinking Hollywood Hogan. I swear to God, I'm like, man, we don't need this.
No. And so, of course, it ends up being Alexa Bliss herself,
which is cool. I like that.
And I don't know how anyone expected anything else.
But why? What's the point? Why do we need a host?
Well, you don't need one.
Look at last year. It was the New Day. And you know what? All they did was come to the ring, throw some pancakes, and walk back
Well,
up.
that wasn't last year. It was
or the year before. That was last year.
No. Because that was the year, that was when the Hardys came back. So that would have been the 2017 one.
I thought they... I'll have to look it up real quick. Because I thought they...
I think it was 33.
So who hosted 34?
They didn't have one, I don't think.
Really?
I don't think so.
Let's find out.
All right. Well, I'll cover here that.
Yeah. Cover for me.
It was kind of funny. Alexa Bliss said like the former host, and there was The Rock and the New Day, and she said Kim Kardashian, and I was like, when the hell did Kim Kardashian host a WrestleMania?
I don't know.
Like I don't remember. I don't remember that at all. Yeah. And so Bliss did do one cool thing though, that she says she's getting like all emotional, and she says it's such an honor for all of you.
I love her.
Yeah. Do you have an answer yet? Can you tell me I'm right yet?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So
let's see.
They decided to replay the Braun and Dork 1 segment from last week.
Yeah.
And it's that I don't know why they had to show us that twice. And I didn't mention it last week, but the other thing with that is that, and the thing that other people complained about that I didn't even catch, was that how Braun had this dude choked up against the wall for 3 minutes.
Yeah, come
and
on.
He didn't. No, but the point was the dude got down and didn't sell it at all.
Yeah.
He was just like, wow, that was mean.
Okay, so from what I see, maybe there wasn't a host last year.
You mean I was right?
Yeah, don't let it go to your head, but yeah.
Because the Hardys have been back since that 2017 WrestleMania.
But I mean, what's the point of a host anyway? What do they do?
Get on TV.
I mean, okay, when New Day did it, all they did was come throw some pancakes and go back up.
Yeah.
When Hogan did it, all he did was get the town wrong, or the arena stadium wrong, and had a little promo with some older people. Yeah. It went back up. That's all it was.
Well, that was at least a cool moment.
It was a cool moment. Well, what do we need a host for? If they're not hosting anything.
Well, the short answer is you don't, but we have one anyway, so there you go.
But why? I'd rather see a WrestleMania edition of Moment of Bliss than see her host something that doesn't need a host.
Yeah. So, anyway, the Braun thing. They replayed the whole thing, and then they had a Braun interview where he's interrupted by stagehand producer guy.
Dork 3?
Well, no, the dorks are exclusively for the SNL guys.
Oh, okay. So
these ones are nerds.
Okay.
So he's Nerd 1.
Nerd 1.
And he tells Braun, your car is here.
Yeah.
As if Braun was expecting this.
Yeah.
And he's taken to this nice convertible.
Looks like a Camaro.
Yeah.
Like a new one.
Yeah. And,
just gutted.
And it has a note from the SNL guys, and that it says in the notes to treat it better than Vince's limo because you don't have a title match to lose this time.
Yeah.
LOL, JK.
Yeah.
And so Braun, of course, destroys this car.
Yeah, he put more pieces in the limo.
And he did it fairly easily.
Yeah.
It was not much of a struggle to break the doors off of this car and break the hood off. Or
kick the chair out.
Yeah, he just lifted the chair right out of it.
Yeah.
The seats.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I like how they're doing that.
So something tells me it might have been gimmicks.
No.
Oh, either that or Braun just has, like, deceptive strength.
But the fact that he slammed the windshield and it broke with his hand, that's just strength. He had nothing in his hand to break it.
Well, I'm sure it was a different glass.
Well, it might have been a different glass, but still glass. I mean, I'm not going to say it's hard to break. But if it is a thick glass, like, because if it was real thin, it would have just, the whole thing would have shattered.
Yeah.
But this didn't. It was like windshield glass.
I'm sure they had to gimmick it in some way.
I mean, they might have had a little plastic protectant over it that he could hit.
Because then you're going to end up like Goldberg smashing the window and breaking his hand.
But he went through the window. He didn't just hit the window. He went through it. Well, that's his stupidity.
Yeah.
Braun's smart.
Because he didn't have the crowbar. And it was live.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't have the crowbar, so he just used his hand.
Yeah, well, next time use your foot.
Yeah, so... and Braun hands the nerd a piece of the hood and tells him to bring that to the SNL guys and tell him he'll see them at WrestleMania and they're gonna get these hands.
The biggest show of the year.
Do you think Braun is getting kind of cold?
It's the biggest show of the year. And you're going to have your biggest man on roster do a comedy skit?
Well, maybe it'll lead to Nicholas coming back and they'll have a tag match.
Now that I could get behind. I really could. Okay, but, I mean, what is the point? This is the biggest man on your roster. He is the biggest, to me, the biggest threat to anybody there.
Yeah.
And you're going to use him like a damn Zack Ryder comedy act. And nothing against Zack Ryder.
It's a shame.
It is, because I love Strowman. He's fun to watch in the ring. I mean, his power is just fun to watch.
Yeah.
But shit like this...
They just don't have anything lined up for him. And
no, because they've got like 18,000 storylines going on at one time, converging at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
The one event is going to be like 18 hours long. We're going to have to pitch a tent in our seat.
So after this, we get Elias out in his hometown of Pittsburgh, PA.
Was that before or after the Harlem Heat?
No, this was before it.
Okay.
I have it written down.
Oh, okay.
So, Elias gets his typical cheap heats, and No Way Jose Congo's out, and Elias beats him up, and he beats up several members of his Congo line. And... This was weird, though. I don't know if you caught this. Elias, after this, is he goes towards the ringside area, and he says, "Give me a mic," and then they just cut away, and that's how they transition into the Harlem Heat Hall of Fame.
Okay.
So the gimmick that they've done forever is like a rib on Elias, where even if someone doesn't interrupt him, they just cut away from him to interrupt him and go to the next segment.
I don't get why. I mean,
so I don't know if this was what they planned on happening or if Elias actually thought that he was going to cut a promo after this and that they just said, nah.
I don't know. I really don't.
So I don't know. But yeah, so briefly, what are your thoughts on Harlem Heat in the Hall of Fame?
I'm for it.
Because I don't know a lot of them. I know their history, but I haven't watched a lot of them.
Okay. I mean, obviously they're a WCW team.
Yeah.
For the most part. I don't even think Stevie Ray came to WWF or E.
Right. Well, he's the main one that people seem to have an issue with going into the Hall of Fame.
And I don't know why. I mean, it might be something I just don't know. But I don't know why they have an issue with him, but not Booker T. I mean, unless he did something I don't know about.
Well, I don't think it's anything he did. I think it's just like...
But because he didn't jump ship and come to WWE when Booker did?
I don't know.
Because Booker didn't jump ship until after WCW was gone.
Yeah.
Because he actually wrestled in the last night and won the title that night.
Right.
But so I don't know. But I'm all for the team going in the Hall of Fame. I mean, they accomplished a lot, like 10-time tag champs.
Yeah.
I mean, what other teams can say that?
Just a few, like the
Dudleys
and Hardys, maybe.
Just a handful.
Edge and Christian are probably up there.
They're probably up there, but not quite.
Yeah.
I'd say, Hardys. I mean, New Day, they're at, what, 5 or 6?
Yeah.
So they're getting there. Mm-hmm. But I'm for it.
Right.
I like it.
And this will make Booker T a 2-time Hall of Famer.
Yes. And if I'm right, he's the second. Because Ric Flair's in for the 4 Horsemen and for him.
Yeah.
And then Booker T was already in for him.
Yeah. Well, if it's accurate that they're going to do the Hart Foundation this year, which has been reported, that'll make Brett a 2-time.
Okay.
I don't know of any others.
That'd be cool if they did, though. The Hart Foundation. Just, I mean, with losing...
Has anyone from DX in already?
Not that I'm aware of.
Because...
I don't even think Shawn Michaels is in.
No, I'm not sure.
He's inducted a couple people, but I don't think he's actually been inducted.
Yeah, I don't remember if he has.
He will eventually by himself, I know.
Yeah.
But right now, I don't think so.
Yeah. Well, they did Diesel, right? I'm pretty sure they did Diesel.
Did they?
I feel like they did, but I'm not 100%.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
All right, we'll move.
Might have to do some research on that.
Yeah, we'll move on from that. Lacey Evans comes out.
Somebody hit her, please.
She walks to commentary and puts a fan in Renee's face. Not a member of the audience, a like handheld fan.
Yeah.
She did not go out and grab someone from the crowd and put them in Renee's face.
Here, stand here.
Yeah. So for once, someone interrupted her entrance.
Thank God.
And Nia and Tamina came out, and they look at each other on the stage, and Lacey Evans exits.
What's the point? I'll say it every week. What's the point of calling these people up from the NXT to the main roster to do nothing? I mean,
yeah.
At least if they're at NXT, they can get training. Mm-hmm. And they can get some practice on how to do stuff. That way we don't have Brie Bella suicide dives.
Well, Lacey is getting plenty of practice on how to walk.
Oh, great. So, that takes a lot of talent.
So there's no reason that she should trip while she's walking.
Okay, so she won't pull a Titus.
She's had plenty of practice.
So she won't pull a Titus with
Yeah, exactly.
But she won't get in the ring either.
Yeah. Yeah. So...
Oh, sorry. Speaking of that, I've got to go off subject for a second.
Okay.
I was watching...
Quickly.
WWE superstars react to WWE videos.
Yeah.
And they actually had one of the superstars reacting to Titus tripping. Oh my God. I've never seen wrestlers laugh so fucking hard.
Yeah. I know Corey Graves in particular finds that hilarious.
Yeah, but even Titus himself was just laughing his ass off.
Yeah, which at the time he wasn't.
No. But, I mean, and like some of them, whoever's in the ring, they had him on camera. And they were like, if you look, you can see me in the corner trying not to laugh.
Yeah.
Because I saw what happened. And it was like, really? And I had to actually go back and find it and rewind it. And I could see him not laughing.
Yep.
Sorry, it was just a cool little clip I saw on YouTube.
Yeah. So Natalya ends up coming out, and she introduces her best friend, Beth Phoenix. I hate Natty's only character motive is who her best friend is.
Yeah.
At that time. Like, that's all she does.
She goes through more friends than anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
That's the only thing she has.
Apparently, it depends who charges the least for the week to be her friend.
Yeah, so this time it was Beth Phoenix, and this was where I noted that Beth looked absolutely jacked.
Oh my God, yes. With her coming down the ramp next to Natty. Oh my God.
Yeah, her arms. She's
just, I mean, they're as big as my leg. Okay, maybe not quite that big, but still.
Yeah.
They're pretty big.
So this ends up being Natalya versus Nia, I guess.
Yeah.
And the match goes about 10 seconds before Tamina grabs Natty's foot from the outside, and then Beth runs into the ring and takes out Nia. Then Tamina comes in and she takes out her, and Natty and Beth hold the ring, and Nia and Tamina back off and leave.
And then they went to commercial. And during that commercial, my first thought was tag match after the break.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I know it'd be unorthodox.
Oh, I see.
But, I mean, obviously she's still able to be physical.
Yeah.
And
I think they're saving that, though.
So I'm thinking maybe a Mania match.
Yeah.
Because we don't have enough of those yet.
And it did cut to Gorilla, and Sasha and Bayley were waiting on Nia and Tamina and attack them.
So we're going to have a triple threat at Mania because we don't have enough fucking people on this show yet. Oh my God. We're going to have like 18 matches featuring 45,000 people.
So after this, we had Triple H coming out in a leather jacket, which means he means business.
Yes, he's not, he doesn't mean business. He means wrestling. He means physical business, not wrestling business.
Right. And so out comes Batista afterwards. So who do you think would win in a fight? The Chaperone or Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy?
Never seen it.
Never seen either of them?
Nope.
Damn, well, that joke isn't... I haven't seen any of the Guardians of the Galaxy either.
Well, then how are you going to ask me?
I don't know. I just thought it was funny.
Well, what's so funny if you don't
know? Batista stops at the ramp, and out comes his personal security. Speaking of Bad Guy 101, Triple H said last week, this was right up that alley.
Yeah.
Batista implores Hunter to give me what I want. And Triple H says we're going to do things his way, and he'll walk up that ramp, and he says that he will go through the Guardians of the Independent scene.
Which I thought was awesome.
I found it funny.
I did too. I thought it was hilarious.
But I didn't care for it in the grand scheme of things of, oh yeah, those are all independent wrestlers. They're not actually security. Haha.
No, but I mean, just the way it came across, and with Batista being a Guardians of the Galaxy, I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, so this promo became a lot of shouting back and forth of Batista saying, "Give me what I want," and then Triple H would say, "I'm not giving you a damn thing, Dave."
Yeah,
this back and forth. I thought they were gonna break into the Spice Girls song with
"Tell me what you want, what you really, really want."
Batista saying, "Give me what I want, what I really, really want." Well, tell me what you want, what you really, really want.
I wanna
fight you.
I really want to match with you.
And then Triple H gets his part, and he goes, "If you want to fight me at Mania, it's got to be no holds barred. Gonna hit you with my sledgehammer, really, really hard."
Oh damn! You should put that clip alone. Just on
that's
YouTube.
Gonna be on YouTube.
Just that clip alone, because that could go viral among the wrestling world.
Yes.
Should tag Mel B or the Spice Girls or something in it too.
Are they still around?
They're actually doing a reunion tour in Europe. And I only know that because I watch America's Got Talent, and she had to quit this season for the tour.
Okay.
So, yes, they are still around.
Yeah. So, I've been waiting to get that in.
How long you been holding on to that?
I've been waiting for this segment for so long for that. Yeah, so eventually we get to what Batista wants. He wants a match at Mania, and Triple H accepts and does the... And Batista says it's all he's wanted, one last match to end his career on his terms, and also end Triple H's career on his terms.
I get one to end your career on your own terms, but didn't he do that the 4 times he quit?
I guess you could
seriously. I mean, the last time I saw him, he was in the ring in a wheelchair, not getting what he wanted, so he quit.
Well, the last time was the Evolution reunion.
Okay, before that, then.
When he quit that time.
I mean, he's quit so much, it's pathetic. Why would you give him anything? And
I don't know.
No offense, but do we need another 90s act at WrestleMania?
Well, Batista is in 90s. He's
close enough. He's early 2000s.
He's 2000s.
But do we need
when he was the Deacon for Devon?
But do we need another nostalgia act at Mania?
Well, what else do we have at this one?
Well, you've got Kurt Angle doing his final match.
Yeah.
Probably The Undertaker at some point.
I doubt it, but...
Well, I mean, it's Mania, so you have to assume.
I don't feel like it's going to happen this year, though.
But, I mean, there's like 15 matches already on the card. Do we need a geriatric match?
No. I mean,
this should.
I think this will be fun, though.
But the sad part is, because it's Triple H, it's probably going to be the damn main event.
I don't think it'll be the main event, but I think it'll go unnecessarily long.
Oh, you know it will, because it's Triple H.
Yeah. Because Triple H always gets the most time in these matches.
And some of the matches are worth it. This one I don't see. I mean, great. You guys are going to have a match. There's nothing behind it. I mean, really, I want a match. You don't get a match. I'm going to beat up this old guy until I get one. You can have a match. Wait, really?
I don't know. When you dumb it down that much, it makes me not like this as much. But I thought this was fine.
Oh, maybe on TV, but not thinking about it.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about it. It's why?
Yeah.
It's not like Batista's been around to antagonize Triple H or beg for a match or anything except the last time he was there. What, a year ago?
Well, they did the subtle thing at the SmackDown
1000, like 6 months ago.
Yeah.
4 or 5 months ago.
Yeah.
But it's been so long ago. Who cares? They should have done that match then, not wait till Mania. Well, not at that moment, but I mean,
you have to get Triple H's WrestleMania match.
He doesn't need it. He is the COO. It's time for him to start acting like it. Stop acting like a wrestler and be the corporate COO that you are. Don't get me wrong, Triple H is great in the ring, but he's an old act.
Yeah.
I mean, plain and simple, we've got enough part-timers. We don't need more that work higher up that can make whatever matches they want and do what they want being on the show.
Yeah. I don't disagree with you from that point, but I think the build to this has been fine. It's what I expected, I guess. And, like, there's not a big draw of a match at Mania this year, it feels like, and I think this at least gets that.
I thought that was the Rousey triple threat match.
Yeah,
that's the big draw.
They've cooled it off so much.
And the Lesnar-Rollins, that's the big draw.
Yeah.
Those are the double main events in my book.
Right, but there's always going to be something like this where you have a Batista or a Rock.
Well, screw it. Let's get Ric Flair to be a special guest referee.
Okay.
Might as well. We'll get Randy Orton and the rest of Evolution out there too. It could be a Evolution lumberjack match.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if they're going to go with stupid stuff, I might as well throw it up there.
So we had Kurt Angle next, who comes out in front of his hometown of Pittsburgh.
Yes.
And announces that he will have one last match at WrestleMania.
Yes.
And Angle says that he will also have one last match tonight in Pittsburgh. And that match is against Apollo Crews,
who is a big fan of Angle's.
Yeah. And also hasn't been seen in however long.
Yeah. Now, they did do a commercial break. And then during this commercial break, cameras kept rolling. And Kurt actually told Cruz that he was going to go say hello to everybody. And he dropped the mic and went out to the ring and started saying hi to everybody at ringside.
Oh, yeah.
During the commercial break.
I hadn't seen that.
It was I just saw it on Facebook before you showed up. So, I mean, it's kind of cool, I guess. But, I mean, I guess given what it is, it's okay.
Yeah.
I just hope it's not like that on every match when they go to commercial. Hold on, man. I'm going to go say hi to these people.
Yeah, right. So, there wasn't a lot to the match.
No.
Apollo Crews missed a frog splash, and Angle hit an angle slam to get the win.
I mean, it was a nice farewell match.
And
I mean,
we assume it'll be Cena versus Angle at Mania.
I'm assuming, because what I read earlier is there was talks of Samoa Joe versus Cena, but that's not going.
Yeah.
So maybe it will be Angle and Cena. I think it should be.
Yeah.
Because Angle is the one that Cena debuted on. So I think Cena should be the one that he goes out on.
Right.
Just makes sense to me.
Yeah. We'll try to run through things quickly, because when we go over 3 hours, I have to post 2 parts. And we're at 2 hours right now.
Luckily, SmackDown's short.
Yeah, so
Take a break after this.
Roman comes out for his match against Baron Corbin, but he is attacked by Drew McIntyre during his entrance. Drew hits 2 claymores on the outside of the ring, the second one bouncing Roman's head off the post. They have the doctors come out, and they're trying to check him for a concussion, pretty much.
Yeah.
And
it's not often you see the big, trainer come out. You see the ringside doctor.
Yeah.
But you don't see the guy with the glasses come out very often.
Yeah, man, this was... they don't normally use concussions in storylines for obvious reasons.
Yeah, it's too touchy.
Yeah. So
too real.
So, them doing this here, and then Rollins comes out and helps Roman to the back, and they come back from commercial, and Seth and Dean help Roman to the trainer's room, and Dean comes across Triple H, and he asks Triple H for a Falls Count Anywhere match against Drew McIntyre tonight.
Yes.
And Triple H says, "Okay, I'll tell Drew."
Yeah. I think Triple H was just still in the mood from, being in the ring with yelling at Batista. He's like, go for it, whoop his ass.
Yeah. So that would be our main event, was Dean versus Drew McIntyre, which was a fun match.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the hell out of it.
Yeah, brawl throughout the crowd for a lot of this match.
It really was a brawl for all.
Yeah. It eventually gets to the announce table. There was a spot in this I did want to mention where Dean put Drew on the production crates that has the wheels on it.
Yeah, and just roll it.
And he rolls it into another one of those, and Drew just falls down.
Yeah.
It looked very bad, but it was funny at the same time.
Yeah, and you could hear commentary. I think it was Graves say that, I don't think he got everything on that.
He said, I don't think that was quite what Ambrose intended, but it still was effective.
The only reason it was effective because he rolled off and hurt his arm on the ground.
Yeah. I saw someone on Reddit posted a video of Dean pushing Drew on this, but it had the Thomas the Tank Engine theme song.
I was thinking you were going to use the Geico pig.
Yeah. Right. That would have worked too. Yeah, so we eventually get to the announce table, though. And that's where Dean and Drew fight on top of the announce table. And Drew ends up using a pencil as a weapon to stab Dean sort of in the eye area.
Yeah, make it look like it.
Yeah.
Obviously, we know he didn't. There'd be blood.
Yeah, with a pencil was his weapon there.
Hey, man, opportunity.
Yeah. Drew then lawn darts Dean into the LED board twice, and he puts Dean in a guardrail that was on the steps on the stage.
Like a handrail, almost, going up the stairs.
Right, yeah. And he puts Dean in the middle of that, and he hits the Claymore from that position. Yeah. And that's how he pins Dean Ambrose. And as Raw goes off air, Dean crawls towards Drew again, and Drew hits another Claymore.
Yeah.
Which, whether or not this is how Dean ends up being written off, I'm not sure of.
I hope not. I'd like to see him at Mania. I don't know what he do, but I'd like to see him since we'll be there. I want to see him.
I think they could do like a tag match with Roman and Dean against Drew and Corbin or something.
Yeah. I did note that throughout most of this match, like Renee was dogging on what Drew was doing. Ambrose. Well, Graves was constantly having to remind her he asked for this.
Yeah.
Ambrose did.
Drew did the low blow on the announce table.
Yeah.
And then Renee was pissed about that, but Corey said that Dean did the same thing earlier.
And it was fine with her. Yeah. So, I mean, I get, her.
I thought her reaction to Dean getting stabbed with the pencil was great, though.
Yes.
Because normally she's just like, oh my god, did you see that? And this time it was like a genuinely, like, fear. Oh my god.
Yeah. Almost like she didn't get the memo what was going to happen.
Yeah.
Just so they could get that natural reaction from her. Mm-hmm. Which, I'm not saying they don't do that. They might do that.
Yeah.
Especially with Renee and Ambrose being married and working so close together.
Yeah.
They might just do something like that just to get a true reaction from her.
Yeah. And this was the best Drew has looked in a long, long time.
Obviously, I'm not a big fan of his because he's a heel. Mm-hmm. Only because he's a heel. That's why.
Right.
His matches are great, though.
Yeah.
He can hang. He can hang. He can play it. He can sell it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, as far as an all-around superstar, he's probably one of the top right now.
So, my issue with this, though, is that pessimistic side of me is that it's funny, the coincidence that Drew just now is finally being heated up. And you want to know why?
Because Strowman's being cooled down?
Well, no. The reason is that I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that the reason that he is being heated up now is because they need someone for Roman to beat at Mania. And so he's being heated up to be fed to Roman.
But you really think they'd have Roman lose after just coming back?
No, I don't expect that. I just see where this is going.
Oh, okay. I mean, normally I'd say, yeah, that'd be a good idea, but being that he just came back from leukemia, I don't think they'd have him lose.
Yeah, I don't.
Especially at a Mania.
Yeah, I don't think that'll be even on the table. I can just see that the only reason that Drew is getting this sort of forward momentum now is so that Roman can beat him.
Might be.
And then after that, he'll go right back where he was.
I don't know.
I hope I'm wrong, but
I'd like to see him split, put Drew back on SmackDown.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that.
I mean, because the Superstar Shakeup is always after Mania.
Yeah.
Like, if not the day after, it's the week after.
Yeah.
So, we might get to see, some good shakeups going on.
Yeah, and that would be beneficial for a lot of people.
And I'd honestly like to see some of the tag teams get broken up.
Yeah.
And split up.
There's a lot of them right now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
There has to be, because every match is a tag match.
Yeah. But that was Raw. Pretty pedestrian show.
Yeah, to me it's a typical after show.
Yeah. But we will get into SmackDown Live. All right, so SmackDown started with Shane O'Mac. This was reminiscent. Like, as soon as Shane's music hit, I was like, okay, Shane promo that opens the show. Seen this before. But then I'm like, wait, why is everyone... Oh, yeah, he turned heel last night. Or 2 nights ago.
But even before he started talking, I think, we want Kofi chants.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as the cameras started rolling,
yeah, right.
It's like, we want Kofi. And it's like, oh my God. Yeah. Do they have something on the screens up top to say, we want Kofi? We want Kofi.
Yeah, so Shane has the Best in the World trophy with him this time. And he has the ring announcer, Greg Hamilton, announce him as the best in the world. And then he threatens him to do it better each time.
Like he means it.
And to be more enthusiastic and say it with conviction. And so Greg Hamilton had to do 3 different introductions for Shane McMahon.
Now, a wrestler gets fined if they put their hands on an official. Does an official get fined if he puts his hand on another official?
Who knows? Yeah, so Shane does this whole promo, and he says he did what he did because he's not just tired of Miz, but he's tired of everyone in his life, from superstars to WWE employees, trying to get ahead by asking Shane what he can do for them. Was essentially the crux of this promo.
And I have to agree. If you go back to when Daniel Bryan was GM and he was the commissioner, they were always going to him to get something.
Right.
So, I mean, I understand it. Even The Miz used them. Flat out used them.
Yeah.
To make his daddy proud.
Yeah, not necessarily to get ahead.
No, but still to make his daddy proud.
Yeah. Yeah, so I didn't note a whole lot other than that. Shane announced that he says that it's not a request because I'm his boss. So it's going to be Shane versus Miz at WrestleMania.
But don't you have to sign a contract for that match?
In theory.
Yeah. So if he doesn't sign it, there is no match.
Okay. You have to go that far.
Well, I mean, they just showed it last week with Kofi, or 2 weeks ago with Kofi signing a contract.
Yeah. We have Ricochet and Aleister Black and the Hardys against the new League of Nations.
The new League of Nations.
The Bar, Shinsuke, and Rusev.
That's pretty much true, though.
It is.
I mean, you've got, what, Switzerland, Ireland, Bulgaria, Japan?
Yeah.
I mean, wow. All you need is Kofi's Jamaican accent and, throw him in there.
Yeah. So this started off as a fine little opening match.
Nothing noteworthy.
And it breaks down, and all 8 guys are brawling in the ring when, out of nowhere, the New Day run down and they take out everyone.
Yeah.
Because they have a new attitude that after being screwed on Sunday, that they're gonna take no BS, and they're just gonna do what they want, I guess.
So is this the New Day?
The New Day. There you go. There was a quick Usos pre-tape promo. Good stuff per usual from them.
They always give good promos.
And they ran down a lot of the tag teams on SmackDown that could challenge them at WrestleMania. And the one that they closed with was the Hardys, and they said, like, they're brothers just like us, but they ain't nothing like us. So that leads me to believe maybe the Hardys versus the Usos at Mania.
The Hardys versus the Usos for the tag belts.
Or maybe it'll be
at the compound.
Those days are behind them. They're back to Team Extreme.
Oh, that's right. He's not broken Matt Hardy anymore.
Yeah, they fixed him.
Yeah,
they put him back together.
Yeah, he's still got some leaks because he still deletes.
Right.
So he's got some air leaks.
Yeah. Or maybe it'll be an 8-person tag match death chamber between every team on SmackDown.
Oh, why not? We need some more multi-people matches here.
Randy Orton comes out, and this was probably my highlight of the night. Randy Orton comes out, and he cuts a promo saying how this is the house that AJ Styles built, but for AJ's whole career, he was in the Indies, and in TNA, he says he was getting a tan with Dixie Carter in Florida.
Yeah.
While Orton was in WWE, becoming the youngest world champion, facing The Undertaker at WrestleMania, and being a top guy for all of his career in WWE.
And he's got a point.
Yeah, and that was a great thing about this promo, is that both guys had a point that you could get behind.
Yeah, I mean, it was hard to get behind either without getting behind the other.
Yeah. And so AJ Styles interrupts and says that he's damn proud of his background in the Indies. And he also says that it's good that Orton was made for WWE because he wouldn't have made it in the Indies with things like he mocks Orton's pose.
Yeah.
And he says things like that and a knock-off diamond cutter.
Yes. That was awesome.
Yeah.
But the whole promo was just great from beginning to end.
Yeah, and so that led to Randy's great rebuttal, too, is that he says, so you and none of your indie buddies never ripped anyone off, as he does the too sweet hand gesture.
Yeah, from NWO.
Yeah.
Which I'm not sure if they even started it.
NWO, the Click, that whole thing.
Are they the ones that actually started it?
I think it's the Click that originally did it.
Which, well, half the Click went to the NWO.
Right, yeah. So pretty much.
Okay, so I didn't know.
I think, at least.
I didn't know maybe they stole it from somebody else.
They may have.
But I don't know. If they did, I don't know who it would be.
And AJ responds saying that all of his indie pals are all here now because they worked hard to get here and not because they asked their father to get them a job. And like the great thing about this promo was like every line, like the crowd was just like, oh,
yeah,
oh,
yeah. It was a good crowd for this promo.
Yeah. Randy points out again everything he's accomplished, but AJ points to all of the help he has had throughout his career, and this is where they kind of tied it into more of a kayfabe aspect, which I liked. That they had the shoot bits of the Indies and WWE and all that, but then AJ points out all of the help he's had in his career with factions that Orton has been a part of, from Evolution to Legacy to Rated RKO and even the Wyatt family.
Yeah.
Which, that's a cool little kayfabe dig.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a point.
Yeah, a lot of his heel runs, he's had help.
And I totally forgot about Rated RKO.
Oh, man, that was right when I first started watching wrestling. And I then, like, they did the Rated RKO against Triple H and Shawn Michaels. I remember having fond memories of that.
Yeah.
AJ says Randy is what he says he is, and he will use people until they are of no use to him. And AJ says that he attacked Orton at Fastlane because he wasn't going to sit back and become Orton's next victim. And Orton has the crushing line here where he says, as long as you want to rent a room at my house, I'm the landlord, and rent's due, you son of a bitch.
Yeah. Which I thought was great.
Yeah.
You know, because Reigns calls it his yard.
Yeah. Then Styles has the house that AJ Styles built.
Yeah. Which, and I've always doubted, and I've always said, how can he say that? Because he hasn't been there but a couple of years.
Well, what the thing referred to originally was that after post-brand split, when it became SmackDown Live, AJ has been the constant that's helped build that brand.
Yeah.
So that's what he means when he says that.
But Orton's been on SmackDown a lot longer.
Yeah, but
I mean, more on SmackDown.
I think it just speaks to this era of SmackDown when it went live.
Okay. Well, in that aspect, fine. It might be the house that AJ Styles built.
Right. But you don't have that context every time.
Yeah, it's more like the extension that AJ Styles built.
Yeah.
It's the add-on project.
Yeah. It's the shed in the backyard.
Yeah, because, you know, he didn't spend 15 years on the roster like Orton did making SmackDown.
Yeah.
Because Orton's been on SmackDown more than Raw in his career. And not many people have.
Right.
I mean, there's only a few that have been on SmackDown more than Raw.
Like Undertaker, Batista, I think of.
Yeah. Because The Undertaker was always SmackDown for a while.
Yeah. AJ comes back as Orton thought that he would just leave after that line. Like, he thought that was the final blow. But AJ says, you want your rent? Well, come and take it, as he points to the WrestleMania sign.
Match 19.
Yeah, right. I forgot. Yeah.
Our asses are going to be so numb.
But
I hope they sell pillows.
Yeah, Orton backs out and leaves at this point, so you didn't officially get the match yet.
No.
But you got the build to it, and this made me so excited to see this match.
Yeah, I'm actually excited for this one.
Yeah. So, very effective building.
Yes, and I like it.
Building. The house. We had Asuka versus Sonya Deville. And...
Are we sure? Because the same exact thing happened as Monday.
Sunday.
Or Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah, so this was the old Control-C, Control-V. And they did the same match with Mandy versus Asuka, and they just, right-click and cut Mandy out, and then right-click and copy and pasted Sonya in.
Yeah. I mean, other than that, it was the same crap.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, I mean, down to the way she lost.
Yeah, and there wasn't a lot to this match.
No.
I I still would like to see an Asuka and Sonya Deville match that actually has time to be a match.
Yeah.
Because if you remember, they had that spot in the Battle Royal of before TLC, I think it was, where Asuka won the shot to get the women's title match, and they were the last two.
Yeah.
And they had that good back and forth, and I said
at that Battle Royal, or was that?
Yeah, it was the Battle Royal.
Yeah.
Because Asuka won to face Charlotte and Becky in the TLC match.
That's right.
And they had a really good back and forth as being the last two in there. And I remember saying, even at that time, I'd like to see a full-on 10, 15-minute match with Asuka and Mandy, or not Mandy, Sonya, and be able to see what they're able to do.
But really, we haven't had any decent matches to see what Mandy or Sonya could do.
Yeah. Sonya just shows good bits and
I think that has
brief
to do with
moments.
her MMA background, too.
Yeah. A lot like the Ronda thing. She can make stuff look good.
Yeah, except she's transitioned into the wrestling a lot better than Ronda.
Yeah, well, we'll agree to disagree. But we don't have time to go back into that argument.
Yeah, we ain't got time.
Yeah, so Asuka does a baseball drop kick to take Mandy out on the outside. And as Sonya is getting back into the ring, Mandy pulls herself up by the apron skirt.
Are those aprons Velcro? And the only reason I asked that is because when she pulled the apron, it sounded like Velcro.
Oh.
So it made me wonder if they're actually Velcro under there.
It may be. I'm not entirely sure.
Because it sounded just like you ripping Velcro off.
Right. So, and as Sonya is standing on the apron, Mandy pulling the apron skirts caused Sonya to trip, which, I guess she has no balance.
Yeah, apparently.
Because I don't even see how that would trip you. I feel like it would more just be like, oh, hey, that was below my feet.
Yeah.
But that leads to Asuka getting in the Asuka lock and gets the tap out win.
I honestly think that this Mandy and Sonya team might not be around much longer.
Yeah, that's what they teased here.
Yeah.
That they both cost each other the match, and then they sort of walked away from each other after.
Yeah, so maybe another Mania match.
Yeah, Mandy versus Sonya.
Wait, we need some pre-show matches. Put them on pre-show.
I can't imagine that would be very good, but nonetheless. The Iconics have a promo calling my favorite tag team, my favorite women's tag team, the Iconics.
Although Peyton Royce did change her hair.
Yeah.
I do like it. But if you look at them, they kind of look like Nia and Tamina, if you look at their hair.
Just looking at their
Just their hair.
I see.
Because now Billy Kay's got the black hair, just like Tamina, and now Peyton Royce has the brown with blondish streaks kind of thing in it.
Okay.
Like Nia does.
Yeah, so they have a promo calling out Bayley and Banks because Bayley and Banks promised to defend the titles across all three brands, and they've been on Raw and they've been on NXT,
well,
but they haven't come to SmackDown.
I didn't think they were actually doing the title matches on NXT.
Well, they haven't done a match yet, but they appeared on NXT and said that they were going to have matches.
I just don't see how they could do that. Because, why are you going to send your tag champions to the developmental brand?
I think it's actually a good thing because you get. Don't
NXT have tag champions?
They don't have women's tag champions.
They've got men's.
Yeah.
Well, they don't need a women's. It's NXT. You're there to train and develop. You're not there to be a champion yet. In my mind, of course. You've got enough teams
you can
on
do
Raw
both.
and SmackDown.
Like they're trying to build a brand.
But they don't need to build a brand. That's not what NXT is for. NXT is to train your people to come up to the main roster.
I don't see why you can't do both of those things.
Because they're focusing more on being a brand than developing.
Well, at the same time, you putting the people in NXT in a televised and that sort of environment is training them for what they're going to do.
And yeah, in that aspect they are. But you don't have the main roster titles be defended on your developmental show.
Yeah, I can see that. But
I mean, otherwise they need a fourth brand to be their developmental brand, because that's what it's turning out to be.
I don't hate that as much, but
it's not that I hate it. I just don't get it. I don't get how they're going to have a developmental brand, but you don't really develop people. It's like an indie show. It's the not so famous, but we're almost there show.
Right. That's a lot of what NXT is similar to an independent sort of show.
But
I mean a more professional sort of thing.
But they're trying to be a third weekly wrestling show like Raw and SmackDown, and you can't be that if you're in charge of development.
Well,
because there's two
even
sides.
like with OVW and whatever else, they still had shows.
Well,
I mean, they weren't.
Yeah, but they weren't televised,
and
there weren't title matches like there are now. Well, I mean, you got your tag matches, your tag titles, your heavyweight titles, your women's titles. I mean, you didn't have that on OVW that I know of.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, they still haven't had any sort of matches yet, so.
I mean, I knew they appeared, and they were happy that NXT remembered them.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that's all it was. It was just a visit.
Well, they said that they'd be back to defend the titles.
I just don't see how. Don't see how yet.
All right, so yeah, but nonetheless, I guess they're setting up for something with the Iconics and Banks and Bailey. I don't imagine that will be the Mania program, but it might be a match on SmackDown.
Maybe.
Becky Lynch comes out and she has a promo where she basically has to highlight everything that's happened in this this feud between her, Ronda Rousey, and Charlotte.
Yeah.
And the way she did it was that she basically just made fun of it and how stupid it was.
Yeah.
Like, she just points out how she had the match, and then she got suspended, and then she got unsuspended, and then she got suspended again, and then she got arrested, and then she got taken out of the match, and then she got put into the match.
Yeah. It was quite funny.
Yeah. And so she did have the one funny line where she says that it's hard to play mind games with someone who doesn't have a brain, but she managed to do it. And yeah. And Charlotte interrupts, and they have every back and forth promo you've seen between Charlotte and Becky.
Yeah, typical.
Charlotte points out that she's been the top of this division for the past 4 years, and Becky's only had 6 good months. And
well, that's only because Charlotte's dad paid Vince McMahon to put her on the top, to be the top.
And
that's all.
Becky points out that they needed her to be at the top because they weren't going to be in the main event of WrestleMania until she got there. So there you go. Whether that's actually the main event or not, we still don't know.
It'd be nice, but
we had Rey Mysterio and R-Truth teaming against Samoa Joe and Andrade. Rey ended up pinning Joe with a roll-up.
Imagine that. Another win with a roll-up.
Yeah.
Although his...
I liked... you were probably about to say the same thing. I like how Joe sold being pinned. Okay.
That was good, too. No, I was going to say I love watching Mysterio sunset flip powerbomb.
Yeah.
Every time. I love watching it.
The Canadian Destroyer.
I don't care what you call it. I call it a sunset powerbomb. That's what it is.
Well, that is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Joe, after the match, is like shocked and just absolutely pissed off that he lost that match.
Yeah.
So much so that he just Uranagi's Truth and his own partner Andrade,
which gives Truth the moment to get out of the ring before Joe can come back to him.
Yeah. And so I'm going to assume that, I mean, it's probably going to end up being a multi-man match, but it kind of set it up for just Rey versus Joe.
I mean, rumor mill, according to just the rumor mill, take it how you want. It's supposed to be all four, one versus one versus one versus one.
Yeah. We'll see. I
mean, I hope not.
I don't think they're going to do that 3 times in a row.
Why not?
Who knows?
Well, it worked my first 2 times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let's just throw it again. Copy and paste is all we know how to do.
We had Kevin Owens and Mustafa Ali versus Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan. Ali gets pinned by Rowan with what they're calling the Iron Claw.
Is that what they're calling it?
Yeah. The
claw
palm
slam?
The palm choke slam to the face.
Yeah.
They're calling it the Iron Claw. The Iron Claw.
I disagree with that name. Because they've already had the claw.
Yeah.
And that was from, oh God, who were they? Von Erichs.
Right.
I mean, how is the Iron Claw a totally different move from the claw?
And the Mandible Claw.
And the Mandible Claw. Again, still dealing with the face, but you're not lifting your opponent up and slamming them down.
Well, this one is iron.
Well, great. Then it should knock them out with one squeeze. I don't know. A palm slam?
Yeah.
Maybe? I don't know. There's got to be a different name for this crap.
So, to me, I saw when I saw this, for one, Ali getting pinned by Rowan, it didn't make sense at the time, but I think it feeds into they wanted to make Rowan credible for what they're going to do next week.
Yeah.
But I also feel like, and I'm going to make the prediction now, and you're going to be shocked at it, that I feel like this match set up for Kofi versus Bryan to be a one-on-one match.
Really?
Because
I'm loving the idea, but I want to know how you got there.
Because I can't imagine that, like, Ali and Owens get beat here by Bryan and Rowan. And Rowan pinned Mustafa Ali. So I just feel like it damages any sort of reason you have to put them in that match. And that doesn't mean anything. They could just do it anyway.
Yeah.
But
there's still like a day left before Mania, so
that's how I feel that they're going.
I could get behind that.
Yeah.
Just because it'd be a one-on-one.
Yeah. And I think the storyline calls for it to be one-on-one.
Because I would hate for Vince to screw the black guy over some more.
And speaking of Vince, the main angle of the show was Vince coming out to say he's here to give the people what they want.
Bullshit.
And to give Kofi an opportunity for a WWE Championship match at WrestleMania.
Why does he have to get an opportunity for a match when he already had a match? He already had the opportunity and won it.
Because
he should not have to have another opportunity to win it when he already did and got screwed.
Yeah, but setting up Kofi, the underdog, for his big moment at WrestleMania where he defies all odds and wins the title.
And I mean, I'm all for that. I just don't like how they're getting there. Because they're doing the same thing we just saw a couple weeks ago with them.
Well, we're going to disagree because I love this.
I mean, we're going to disagree, which is fine. That's why we have two people on this show.
But I will run down this whole promo because I think we've both said in the past that Vince, as far as on screen, always seems like he's very out of it, doesn't really care much, but he brought it in this segment. He was very good as the Vince McMahon character.
Oh, as the heel character?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It felt like old Vince McMahon in a sense.
Which I disagree because it was just a couple months ago that the whole McMahon family, including Triple H McMahon, came out and said, "You are the authority. The fans are the authority."
Yeah. They swerved you on that one.
How come we don't get anything we're wanting? If we're the authority, we make the matches, right? Did we need what was it? Taboo Tuesday? Is that what it was? Where we chose the matches?
Cyber Sunday.
Yeah, that's what we need. Because we want to be in charge, not them.
Well.
And we're supposed to be according to them.
That's your fault for believing them.
Well, hey, why would they tell me if it's not true?
Yeah. So Vince talks about his decision to put Kofi in the handicap match on Fastlane, and he says Kofi and the fans hear what they want to hear, and points out how he said that he would make the WWE Championship match a triple threat match, but he never said that it would be Kofi in the match.
And I'll give it to him. He never said it, and we all fell for it.
Yeah.
It's just because we wanted to hear it.
Vince calls things like this teachable moments. And that's when New Day interrupt, and Big E comes out and he says, with all due respect, we're not in the mood for you to teach us a damn thing. And
watch your mouth.
Yeah. Big E and Xavier cut promo, and Kofi for the first part is just staring down Vince with the pissed off look.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if he was pissed off or gonna cry.
Yeah, he didn't say anything. He was just stone faced.
Yeah,
and they cut their promo about how the three of them never complain. They do all that is asked of them, but they're still treated like garbage. Woods said, and Kofi deserves better. And Kofi deserves this match. And Vince goes on a tirade on how Kofi doesn't deserve a thing. These people don't deserve a thing. And he says, even me, myself, I don't deserve a thing. Basically, like, no one deserves anything.
Yeah.
Essentially. And Xavier would go on to rebut that, saying that Kofi deserves this because he's earned it.
And he did when he won the match to get in there.
Yeah, because there's a difference. Because I hate when I hate the word deserve altogether. Because I agree. Yeah,
literally.
Well, not in the same way. Because I think that most of the time, and this is a different case, is that when someone says that I deserve this and I deserve that, they just sound like they're crying.
Yeah, usually yes.
Yeah. Then that's sort of what Vince got triggered on.
But in this case, it's actually legitimate. He does deserve it.
Yeah, because he's earned it. Yeah. And Xavier points out how he pinned the WWE champion on multiple occasions and has not been given a proper championship match. And Vince goes into Kofi and he says that he's been here for a long time. And if he was worthy of this, it would have happened by now.
Yeah.
And Vince, I think it was at this point, he points out that, you're a great athlete. You've done a great job here in WWE, and you're a future Hall of Famer. But we both know that you won't go in the Hall of Fame on your own. You'll go in as a member of the New Day.
Yeah.
And he says that, you have these. This was funny. He says you have these two young bucks.
Yeah.
To do all the work for you while you take the glory. And
which we all know doesn't happen.
But he used the word young bucks.
Yeah.
Like the tag team.
Well, Vince is also old school too, so that's an old school phrase.
Right.
I see what you mean.
I mean, he probably doesn't know who the Young Bucks are.
Yeah, pretty much.
Even though he wrote them a cease and desist letter. But
well, he didn't. His lawyers did.
Yeah.
But I think it was just said because as an older person, that's just one of their sayings.
Yeah, that's.
Or
I'm not implying that he did that intentionally. That would be funny
if he did it intentionally. Though.
Yeah. And Vince points out they set this up earlier with Daniel Bryan walking out of the McMahon's office.
Yeah.
And Vince says that he was talking to Daniel Bryan earlier, who said it correctly when he said Kofi is a good B-plus player.
Yeah.
Tying it all back as that's been the angle that I've been comparing it to for a while, that it's the B-plus player storyline with Daniel Bryan in 2014.
Yeah.
Except now Daniel Bryan is the antagonist and Kofi is the B-plus player.
Yeah, so Kofi would be the role of Bryan. Bryan's playing the role that Triple H had.
Yeah.
And then somebody else will play the role that Orton had.
Yeah. And so Kofi finally ends up speaking here and he delivers a fantastic promo. I don't know many great promos that Kofi has had.
Not many, if any.
And he delivered a great one here, saying he's not asking for a handout. He points out how he's been able to live his dream over the past 11 years, says he doesn't complain about anything, like how he works his ass off and seeing other people being given opportunities that he's not.
And let's face it, throughout the years, the New Day has been doing some stupid crap.
Yeah,
they've been forced to do some stupid crap.
Yeah,
so
and they make it work.
Yeah, and they make it fun.
Yeah, and he doesn't complain about not being able to be with his family, missing weddings, birthdays, and special moments. He says he's never been trick-or-treating with his kids.
Yeah.
And that got like a genuine like, aw, reaction from the crowd.
Or what was it? His son lost his tooth.
Yeah, and he goes on and says that recently his son lost his first tooth and that he didn't get to be there when the tooth fairy left the money under his pillow.
Yeah.
And to see his reaction after that.
Yeah.
And he's never complained about how Vince has never let someone like me compete or contend for the WWE title.
And for those of you who don't understand, it means he's black.
Yep.
But it's okay if you're, say, Mexican, because Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
So,
Rey isn't technically Mexican. He was born in San Diego.
well, Mexican descent.
Yeah, heritage.
Yes. Kofi's not really African, but he's American, but he's still black. I mean,
Yeah.
so I get like how he did that, and I like how he said that.
Yeah. It was because that wasn't the focal point of anything.
No.
It was subtle.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to me it is because I've been going on it for a couple weeks now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a nice little subtle jab.
Yeah. And all Kofi wants is for Vince to tell him what he needs to do so he can earn his shot.
Which he already did. And got screwed.
And so Randy Orton's music hits.
Yeah.
And Vince says, all you have to do is beat this man.
Yeah, I'm sitting there, okay, Randy Orton's going to be a tough one.
Yeah.
Doable, but tough.
But then Samoa Joe's music hits. And Vince says, oh, and you have to beat this man too.
Yeah.
And then the Bar's music hits. And, oh yeah, you have to beat them too.
Yeah.
And then finally, Rowan's music hits. And you have to beat him too. You have to beat all 5 of these men in a gauntlet match.
Now, I've got a question about that. When it comes to the Bar, is it going to be 2-on-1? And a 2-on-1 handicap tag match?
No, it'll be individual, I'm sure.
2 individual matches?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Just curious, because, you know,
it wouldn't make much sense.
It didn't make much sense to have the match they did, but...
Yeah, that's true. But, yeah, the show ends with some of them running down to the ring and New Day taking them all out.
Yeah.
And now, so next week, we'll do the gauntlet match, which is where Kofi got this over to begin with, was a similar gauntlet match.
Yeah. But he didn't even win that match.
No.
It's just because he did so well in it and people noticed.
Yes.
Finally noticed what he could do that
and
people like me and you have seen for years.
Yeah. And then he had the hour-long showing. And one of the reviews I listened to suggested that they should do the gauntlet match starts the show and it lasts the entire show. This week.
Oh my God. For only 5 matches? I mean...
It'd be tough.
But how would they fit in 45 minutes of video packages? And another 25 minutes of promos?
Yeah.
I mean...
I would be fascinated if they do decide to do that, though.
I mean, if there's 5 matches, I wouldn't mind having the gauntlet match. I mean, it'd just be tough.
Yeah.
Because
a lot of them in that aren't really people that you would have a long match with.
No. Like
no. I mean, Cesaro is someone you can have a long, great match with.
Yeah, well, you could have a long match with all of them. But a lot of them aren't known for long matches.
Yeah, like Joe and Randy aren't going to have 30 minutes each in this match.
No.
And Rowan probably isn't going to have 10 minutes.
I think his is going to be a quick final match, one way or the other.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm rooting for Kofi, but one way or the other, I think it's going to be a quick match.
Yeah.
Either he's going to get a quick SOS and win, or a distraction, or disqualification, something.
So, I love the way they've done this. I think it's been the way that they, on Sunday, they gave you what you want, and then they took it away. And, we have our issues with how long that segment went, and it was unnecessary to go that long. But the premise of it was in the right spot. And this time, you revisit what got Kofi to where he is in the first place. And as you point out, he didn't win that match, which shows that this is a daunting task. He'll have to run through every one of these guys, but if he manages to somehow do it, then he'll get the championship match at WrestleMania.
And I know how to do it.
All right,
easy.
Give it to
I've
him.
seen it before.
Okay.
Start the first match. Don't know whoever it's against.
Mm-hmm.
Kofi against whoever. Kofi goes on the outside, underneath the ring. There's handcuffs. So you get your opponent out there and you handcuff his ankle to the bottom rope so he can't get in. Boom, count out. One match done. Stuff like that.
Well, I don't think you can use handcuffs unless it's a no DQ match, though, right?
Well, he never struck him with them.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like...
I think you can do countouts in a different way.
But I mean,
I get what
it's
you
like
mean.
bringing a steel chair into the ring. Well, you don't get disqualified unless you use it.
Yeah.
Well, he never actually used it on him. He never hit him with it.
Well, he did use it. He just didn't hit him.
Yeah, but how many people drop that chair and end up getting body slammed on
Yeah.
and no disqualification?
Okay.
Or something like that. Trickery.
Yeah,
That's how it needs to be done.
Yeah, you have to do, and like particularly, I think you need to protect Joe and Randy in some ways because Randy has the program with AJ going, and Joe is a champion.
Well, that's why you really don't need to protect Orton because he has a whole different storyline going on. He has nothing to do with this. So who cares?
Well, you still want to keep him hot, and
if he's always hot.
Yeah.
I mean,
no homo, but
no, he's always over.
Yeah.
I get Joe.
It would be tough though in the sense of like if Orton comes out like fourth after Kofi's been in there for like 45 minutes or whatever. If you have him lose to Kofi, then that doesn't make him look great.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes Kofi look great. It doesn't make Orton look great.
Yeah, but they don't need to make Orton look good or bad because he's just in this match for filler.
Yeah.
Just like Joe. He's in the match for filler. Now, being that Joe's a title holder, yeah, you don't want to hurt him much.
Yeah.
But Orton, it don't
And
matter.
you could have AJ interfere against Orton when Kofi faces Orton.
Yeah. I mean, he could easily...
Just distract him.
Come out, just play the music.
Yeah.
Orton will turn around, Kofi will do an SOS, end of story.
Yeah.
And then move on to whoever's next. I can see that.
Yeah, so this was, like, it's one of the things that we talked about when they did the Batista and Triple H angle at the Ric Flair birthday thing, is that WWE lacks a lot of times a cliffhanger ending. And I thought this was a really good cliffhanger, having you anticipate next week. And I'm actually genuinely, and it's not often that I say I am excited to watch a WWE show, but I'm excited to see that gauntlet match.
I am excited. I know I'll bitch about it because we've already seen it.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to see how they play it off.
Mm-hmm.
To see how they advance Kofi.
Yeah.
Because we know it's going to happen. It's just how.
Yeah. And I think your issue with it, it's like, and the issue you have with it is because we see it in a lot of other things where they Control-C, Control-V, as we always say.
And it's just getting old.
I think it's sort of like those situations that we see every week with something else kind of bleed into your opinions on this.
And
because if it wasn't like that with everything else, when you saw this, you wouldn't have thought of it as badly.
Probably not. You're probably right.
But I think that in a vacuum, in this case, the two situations, for one, they're at least a little bit apart. It wasn't the next week.
No, it's been
And
a few.
it's a unique circumstance because the first gauntlet match was when Kofi got put in place of Mustafa Ali.
Yeah.
And they needed to give you a reason to think he could win after being put in that match.
They took out a high-flying face. They needed a high-flying face.
Yeah, and he got that organic momentum. Organic momentum, rather.
Yeah.
That match just caused the crowd to be more behind him than ever.
Yeah, and I don't think it was planned. I don't think they intentionally planned Kofi to get pop.
Yeah, this is all...
This is just okay, well, this happened, so this needs to be changed.
Yeah. Which is just like what happened with Bryan at WrestleMania 30.
Yeah.
Was that, okay, we can't deny this any longer. The crowd wants to see this bad. We have to go with it. And I think it's easier in this case because, like, in the WrestleMania 30 match, Vince McMahon was convinced that Randy Orton versus Batista would be a great WrestleMania main event.
Yeah.
Why he thought that, I don't know.
Because Vince McMahon knows everything.
In 2014, I don't know why he thought that. But he had to be dragged kicking and screaming to put Bryan in the match.
Yeah.
In this case, it's different because I don't think they ever had a concrete plan for what they wanted to do. So when Kofi got that over, it was a simple, well, let's go with this.
Yeah.
They didn't take away, like, if anything, they had planned Owens versus Bryan, and I don't think they were married to that idea.
Oh, I think they started with Owens versus Bryan, but then when Kofi got the pop that he got, they had to fast forward that to Fastlane. Mm-hmm. That way Kofi could have the Mania moment. It just made it better.
Yeah.
And I agree, it will make it better when he wins, because I really do think they are going to let him win it.
Yeah. I think so, but...
I mean, it's been long enough. Bryan's had the hip belt long enough.
Yeah.
So,
I think it's time.
Yeah.
And
he's not getting that much of a reaction as a champion.
He still gets his heat.
I mean, he gets his heat, yeah, but I mean, not like it should be.
And I do want to mention that I hope they don't follow the routes of what they did with, like, there was a similar situation with Becky Lynch. She got naturally over, probably, if not equal to, more so than Kofi.
Probably more so, because they were chanting her name on Raw.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't get that often.
They overbooked that into a giant mess.
Yeah.
And so hopefully we don't see, like, Kofi ends up being screwed out of this match, and then he gets suspended or arrested or whatever else they want to do.
Well, they also started the women's storyline months ago.
Yeah.
So there
was too much time in between.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, well, we have 2 months. What do we do?
Well, I mean, if you think about it, it started Survivor Series.
Right.
So that was back in November.
Yeah.
So we got 6 months. What the hell do we do?
Yeah. And it's easy for WWE to lure you in with the hopes of, like, when Becky confronted Ronda the night after Royal Rumble and said, I choose you.
Yeah.
And man, we were so into that. We were ready for it. And then they went on a complete detour.
And totally screwed everybody out of a good match.
Yeah. And so hopefully they don't take this route with Kofi Kingston.
It needs to be a one-on-one.
Yeah.
It has to be. Anything other than one-on-one will diminish the match.
Yeah, it won't ruin it, but it will diminish
it. It won't ruin it, but it will diminish it to almost ruined.
Okay.
In my eyes.
I agree with you. And I think the story for this match and this whole storyline that they've done, it calls for a one-on-one match.
Yeah, and the way they're doing it really needs to be.
And I would say the way they're setting it up now makes it look like it will be a one-on-one match.
Looks.
Whether they do it or not, I can't say for sure, but I think they are setting it up that way.
Looks can be deceiving.
Yeah. But we've got 3 minutes before we hit the 3-hour mark.
Oh, so damn, we made it.
We timed this perfectly, so this show can be in one show instead of having to do 2 parts like we did.
Oh, I still probably separated.
We hit the mark, so I'm going to stay with it. But, yeah, so I thought just to quickly give overall thoughts, I thought SmackDown, it didn't have the great match or anything like that, but there was a lot of good stuff that got you excited for the programs going into WrestleMania.
Yeah, the matches sucked, the promos were awesome.
Yeah, so, and I think that's what TV should be for, is to get you excited to see the pay-per-view, and it exceeded.
But you need some better matches.
Yeah, no, I won't. And that's to me what kept it from being a B+ show to an A+ show. If they just had one good match and one really good match, then I think it would have been right there.
Quit copy and pasting. Quit using the same people week after week.
Yeah.
Make it different so people want to turn in. Well, what do I need to watch wrestling for? It's all the same people.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
But that is all we had time for.
Literally.
Yeah, seriously. If you enjoyed, leave us a review on iTunes. Forgot to say that at the beginning. 5 stars. Do all that. We'll love you long time for that. Yeah, all the links in the description, Twitter, email, whatever, podcast platforms, all that.
It's all there.
It's all in the description.
If you want to stalk us, it's right there.
So, sign us off, Chris.
Until next week, we will wrestle you later.